bitch, you ain't as fly as my sight is. The natural gas could take the track and ignite it. A dastardly dasher that's smoking hash with a cabbie. I'm into lapping my facts and I'm quick to learn like I'm Chappie. The superhuman, never losing, shoot for moons and passing through them. Loop the track and run it back and get to cruising. Feet up, I'm kicking back. I fill the Dutchie with the sack. I double puff and give it back and drop the acid. Now we're moving past the stars into a planet you could never reach. My futuristic fan
said, hey, motherfucker, hey. Hey, motherfucker, yeah. Okay. Tuesday morning. How are you? I'm up in my studio recording this intro with my dog because I'm scared to be up here right now. Like supernaturally after the conversation that me and my guest for today's podcast had. I'm freaked out, man. But before I tell you who it is, I'm going to let you know about a couple things. You ever been to Hartford Denim Company? No? Yeah? Oh, I can't hear you. Well, good, because I have this commercial for you. Hartford Denim Company, aka Hardenco, is a manufacturer of the strongest clothes available. We at Hardenco stand by that statement by backing all of our products with free repairs for the life of the garment. If you buy a pair of jeans and you rip them shits fucking, they'll fix them. If you buy a pair of jeans and you're hunting with your friend and he shoots you in the leg, they'll fix the hole. They probably won't fix paint or cum, but they'll definitely fix a rip. So, made using only the highest quality materials. Everything we produce is cut and sewn in our own shop in Hartford, Connecticut, USA. We also specialize in the production of commercial aprons for, but not limited to, the restaurant, bar, and woodworking industries. I'm trying to get more into woodworking, dog. I got these fucking artsy chairs I'm trying to make. Megan don't believe me. She doesn't think I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna fucking do it. See more. Please see hardenco.com for more information. HARDENCO.com. HartfordDenimCompany.com for more information. 236 Hamilton Street, Hartford. That's kind of in the New Park, between New Park and Park area, right around the corner from where they do the No Good Market and the old Spaghetti Factory and Hog River Brewing. It's over there. You go in, you tell them you heard this on my podcast and mention my name, and you will get $10% off your order. 10%. Okay? So you could buy like $60,000 worth of jeans. How much are they going to give you off of that? $6,000. Good. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by DiMichele's Barbershop and Emporium, located at 6 Kirby Road in Cromwell, Connecticut, exit 21 off of I-91. Interstate 91 for you fucking people that need to catch up, motherfucker. DiMichele specializes in all types of men's haircuts and hot shaves. Services are available by appointment only, which can only be made conveniently at DiMichelesBarbershop.com. That's DIMICHELES Barbershop.com, or by calling 860-502-3540. Gift cards are available in any denomination, and they also offer my personal favorite water-soluble pomade. So go get a fresh cut, a clean shave, and an awesome product, and tell them Ben sent you. DiMichele's Barbershop and Emporium, responsible barbering. I don't know what you'll get out of him for telling him you heard this, but he'll probably just talk to you about things you like to talk about, and he'll be nice to you. That's all I can offer you. I got my dog up here because I figured if there was any evil spirits around, he would alert me of them. Like, he would let me know they were here. All Kala style soaps are natural and organic in color. Natural and or organic in color, fragrance, and ingredients. Many Kala style soaps have been made throughout Europe for over 1,000 years. They opened up a tomb in Scotland in the 70s, and there was a 800-year-old bar of Kala style Icelandic moss soap in there. They must have went back in time. These are very quality soaps. Very high quality soaps. No animal testing ever. No animal testing. I just yelled at my animal. Imagine somebody tested a soap on your dog. Fuck that. Calistyle has no minimum or opening orders or reorders. Overnight, 2-day, and 3-day delivery available. Gift wrap available with gift card enclosed at no charge. Or you can call us at 1-800-755-KALA and we will mail you a catalog. Calistyle soaps. I love them. I rub them on my body. Never able to find a pet collar that fits you or your pet's personality? Canine Us Collars has you covered. Canine Us Collars, pet collar and leash company, handcrafts unique pet apparel for your one-of-a-kind pet. Pet Canine Us Collars carries a wide variety of designs, including Day of the Dead, American traditional tattoo style, horror, and Asian-inspired. Canine Us Collars also carries official designs from some of your favorite hardcore and punk bands. Sick of It All, Madball, Terror, Indecision, Misfits, and the iconic heavy metal band Judas Priest. Ah! I'm sorry, I just scared my dog. Find Canine Us Collars online at www.caninuscollars.com. Not your average pet collars and leashes. Use code Breaking Bread, all uppercase, for 10% off your entire order on their website. Keep your pet looking fresh with a Canine Us collar. Do it. Got Goose the Terror one. Might even get him a Sick of It All one so he can scratch the surface. Story and Soil Coffee Company. We are a multi-roast format specialty coffee shop located in the Frog Hollow neighborhood of Hartford, Connecticut. As much as we love great coffee, we love the community that brings together. We love the community that it brings together even more. I'm going to have to change that. Our space, though small, is curated carefully to be both efficient and homey. We want all to feel welcome here. Story and Soil. Great coffee, better community. We had a winner to our $50 Story and Soil giveaway, gift card giveaway. Her name was Sarah O'Connor. And her Instagram name, I can't remember, but isn't that the woman's name from Terminator? The mom? I think it is. I'm going to have to Google it, but I'm pretty sure Sarah Connor from fucking Terminator just fucking won a fucking gift card for the future. They are at 387 Capitol Ave, Hartford, Connecticut, 06105. Open every day, 6 to 8, and on Saturdays, 8 to 8. Word up, motherfucker. And one event to tell you about in the next coming week that I know of. It's What's Your Problem with Kion Wolf, October 21st. It's a Saturday. Yeah. What's Your Problem is a live advice show at CT Improv's Underground Comedy Theater for curious people with a sense of humor. September 16th. Oh, wait. These are September 16th people. I don't have the panelists for today's, but they've been doing them all year. So this is the next one, October 21st. Go down there. It's fucking fun. You'll have a good time. Look it up on Facebook. I don't have the hours here or whatever, but look it up. She always has something cool going on. All right. So today I have an awesome, esteemed guest friend of mine. His name is Mister. He lives in New Haven. He's a rapper. We talk about the paranormal. We talk about medical marijuana. We talk about the legal system. We talk about rap. We had a fun time. He's a cool guy, and you need to check him out. With no further ado, Mister.
I'll break bread, break bread, break bread, break bread, break bread, I'll break bread, break bread, break bread, break bread, I'll break bread, break
Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going on this beautiful Tuesday morning? Oh, wait, you can't say anything back because it's only me. Sorry. I have my friend Mister here. Say hello, Mister.
Hello, Mister.
Oh, you're a smart one. Me and Mister were just talking about how he's a little nervous and he doesn't think he's going to have anything good to say, but I don't really think that's the truth. I think I could have a conversation with anybody. How do you feel about that?
pretty good.
You live in New Haven?
I do live in New Haven.
How do you feel about it?
Living in New Haven?
I like New Haven.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely awesome. It's very central. There's a lot of stuff going on, but when you want the action to stop, it doesn't. So,
Give me one pro about New Haven.
pizza.
Fuck, yeah, that's dumb. I shouldn't have even asked that question. Give me one con.
Gunfire outside my apartment.
Where do you live?
I live on Elm Street, right off of Whaley. by,
Okay.
like, Crown Fried.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a danger zone. I like that area.
My block is nice, but
That whole area is like the West End of Hartford. It's like Mad Hood with all those fucking like gentrified hipster dudes
peppered in there.
peppered in, yeah. And I like that area. I've always liked New Haven. I used to hate going to New Haven when I was younger, but I like it now. We used to go there for like shows at the Tune-In. Do you remember that?
No, I'm too young for that.
Wall
probably.
Street. It's over there. I think it's called the Salty Dog Saloon or something. It's like a
Oh, I think I've
stupid ass.
seen that. I've seen
It
that.
burned down, or the building burned, but like they used to have like some real. It was like the iconic hardcore place in like the early '90s.
My brother probably went to that.
for hardcore, but Mister is a rapper. And he's kind of in the same boat like me. He's putting his life together day by day, and it's like doesn't really have time to rap.
Yeah.
But you do, and you're good. But like me, I've been going to school hard since 2009, and I'm lucky to have done the rapping shit that I did. But I will be done in December, so we'll see
Get
what
back
happens
at it.
after that.
Yeah, maybe we could finally fucking finish the project that me, you, and Chum started going on 2 years ago.
We would probably scrap it all and redo it, just because it's so.
I like
old.
those 3 songs. I found them in my Dropbox recently.
Well, we could keep the verses, just redo them.
Yeah.
Our problem was I'm too animated and loud, and Chris is a little. Well,
Droning.
you're not really though. It just came out that way.
No, it did. Compared
that
to you,
project.
I sounded. It was like a Fife and Q-Tip dynamic.
I always got criticized for being too loud, but it's like you're the person recording it, the engineer. You deal with it, make it work. Like how the fuck? What did somebody say to Little John the first time he went into a booth? You're too loud. No, they fucking made it work. And for years, I was just really, really like aggravated when people would say that. And it's just like you don't get the same energy if you're not like expelling it. You know what I mean? I can't say what I want to say.
Well, you
lightly.
need to animate. You don't like. I remember when I first started recording was at Crunch House with like Brian with Old Self and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in there and I had only up to that point I had only rapped my songs like to myself in my room, maybe on like a webcam.
Yep.
And they sounded decent enough. And then you go in and you record it and you listen to it and you're like, this sounds horrible. You don't realize that you need to like act like you're rapping for a crowd when you're rapping on the microphone, because when you listen to it you can tell how animated a person is.
That was my problem. I would always go into the booth and rap like I was playing a show, because you have to be loud
Yeah.
at a show, and everybody would be like, you don't have to do that. And then I'd be like, well, I can't like bring the level down in my voice, because then I lose like the excitement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I recorded a song a couple months ago with Chum, but I got to go back down and like clean it up a little bit. I was going to do a video for it just for whatever. I was going to have Mike Details do it. Detelge.
Yeah, it's been like 2 years I haven't recorded anything.
It was his birthday
in a long
yesterday,
time.
and I texted him.
Detelge?
Yeah, and guess what he said?
What he said?
Nothing. He didn't text me back, motherfucker. But he's got his red receipts on, and it said delivered. So I didn't. Maybe the dude dropped his phone in the toilet. Hopefully, because I would feel bad if I told him happy birthday and he didn't say anything back to me.
He seemed busy posting on Instagram though.
Well, somebody posted a picture of him blackout drunk, and they wrote Uzu on his eyelid. So I kind of am giving him a pass. So like whatever. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's from this area. Well, let's see. You work in a warehouse,
Yeah, Subway headquarters.
like fresh, like
Like Subway the restaurant.
what's their tagline?
It used to be Eat Fresh.
Eat fresh. What is it now?
They're like going through like rebranding because of the whole Jared thing. We had all these meetings, and like it's literally our meetings about how they're rebranding and they're changing the colors and all this stuff, but they refuse to say his name or why they're doing it. So I think it's
But
called,
you know that's why.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think it's called
I forgot
our new
all
thing
about
is
that.
Live fresh, eat fresh, or something like that. We have a whole entire new logo and everything.
That doesn't sound too bad. How long ago was that? I feel like it was
Couple
2 years.
Yeah, it was years ago.
That's a pretty long time to like be still going through a rebranding. You would have think they would have did it right off the rip.
They did, but
Well-
it takes like they got like the guy who like made like the Coca-Cola logo, like their current logo. Like they got some like crazy professional who's like a millionaire who gets paid to rebrand companies. So they have been doing it. I've been there for almost 2 years, and since I started, we've been having the meetings and everything. So it's just taken a while.
They involve all employees in a rebranding meeting?
Yeah, when we go to that, it means absolutely nothing to us.
To you,
because
right?
My department, we walk around the factory and pick the orders of all the stuff that goes in the factory. So they're like, oh, like we're having all these meetings about when you send emails, you can't use this header and this needs to be this size. And like I have to sit through hour meetings of stuff that means absolutely nothing to me.
How many emails are you sending?
None. Zero. I've never signed into a Subway email, not once.
That's so funny. Dude, I'm on the rebranding team for the Hartford dispensary because they're turning into an LMHA, and dispensary
Marijuana
means,
dispensary?
Well, the dispensary means something totally different these days.
What
and
is-
we're a methadone clinic. And now with all the dispensaries popping up, dude, we get like 3 calls a day and they're like, hey, how do I sign up for medical marijuana? And we're like, dude, we're methadone. And like, so they're changing the whole name.
I'll take that.
Yeah. There's our logo is green. And so they're getting rid of that, and they asked me to be on the committee to rebrand that. And there's only like 8 of us, and there's like hundreds of employees, and there's only 8 of us on that. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's a huge undertaking. I could imagine what it would be like for Subway.
Yeah, rebranding is crazy. The way that they talk about like colors and everything. Like they
Oh,
have
yeah.
our green that
It's
we
a-
use for our new logo.
it's a science.
Is made for Subway. Like this tone of green. Was
Subway
made-
green?
Yeah, it's like literally Subway green. And
Jared Green.
like, we had all these meetings about what color we liked and all this stuff and.
That's so
So
crazy,
you'll start to see
dude.
the Subway restaurants like, you know, they're that really shitty yellow.
Yellow
like-
and green.
Yeah, they're terrible.
It's
They look
almost like John
horrible.
Deere.
Yeah, our new thing is like, I think it's like white, green, and yellow are the colors, but they have primary tones and subtones and like all these smaller colors, purples and all this shit to go with like name tags, but you can't use certain colors on certain things, and you can't switch
Yeah.
colors, and you have to use this color, and it's just fucking crazy.
I'm really curious as to see what the new logo looks like. That's a huge fucking company.
I don't have it on me. It's weird. It's like it's literally 2 arrows, like
Like
that are
going at each other?
So the S is in between the 2 arrows.
Oh, okay.
Because they were like really like they kept talking about how like the Subway, the arrows, 1 points backwards and 1 points forward. One is for the past to remember our roots, and one is to point towards the future. Like there's this whole science to it, and it's
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Dude, for anybody that doesn't know, Jared got caught with, what was it? Like child pornography, or was he a sex addict?
There
What was the
more
thing?
to it. I don't know exactly. I know that he got caught with child pornography, but I think I haven't listened to it. But when people were talking about it at work, I guess he like some woman set him up, and he was on the phone with this woman, like talking about how to get children, like to have sex with you. Like she like recorded a phone call with him and was like, "Oh, how do you do it?" And he like was on the phone with this woman that he thought was going to do it with him, like explaining how he can go about getting children for them to.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And then his plea, did you hear what his plea was when he went to court?
Insanity?
No, he said that from losing all of that weight, he had a hyperactive sex drive, was what the plea that he tried to use to not go to jail. And
So what? Go fuck men or like women. Like go fuck a million women, maybe 10 men. But like children is just such a like I don't that it's obviously bullshit, and he didn't win it
yeah,
with that, right?
Yeah, and he's in jail for it.
Oh, how long is he in jail for?
I don't know. I'd assume at least like fucking 10 years, at least, if not. You know, he's a rich motherfucker.
Imagine you went
so.
to prison and you just had to be in a cell with Jared from Subway.
Oh, he's sitting in his own cell, like,
Yeah.
and fucking 100 meters away from everything. He probably doesn't go near anybody, you know, damn well.
I wonder where he is.
We had, funny thing too, we had to like throw out everything that had a picture of his face, like pallets upon pallets of stuff. And then, I don't know if I'm like letting out company secrets right now.
No, if you know it, everybody knows it.
But we got these new booklets for like the the people to look through and order stuff.
Yeah.
And we got pallets of them. And after like 2 weeks, they realized that whoever designed these booklets added a picture of Jared's face inside the thing. And it was so small. It was like a centimeter big. But whoever did it...
Like a little emoji of his face.
Yeah, like they literally probably gave them like 500 pictures and were like, you can use all of these, just don't put Jared's face. And they somehow put Jared's face in the thing. So like...
You had to throw it all out.
They didn't throw them out because we couldn't fucking afford it. So they had to have somebody at our work take a white sticker and go through every single book one at a time and put the
How
sticker
many?
over his... Thousands, pallets of them.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's so... Dude, I would be... I
You
wonder
had
if
one job. You had one job.
Yeah.
Don't put Jared's face in this book.
Oh, he had one job. Don't fuck a child. Or don't want to have sex with a child. What a scumbag. That's
Yeah.
insane. Do you think they're going to sue him?
I'm sure they
probably
already
have,
did.
yeah.
For tainting their image and whatnot.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know the law behind that, but they
I know
probably...
that he paid a lot of money to like his family. He paid like, I don't know if his wife sued him or if he had to pay them for some reason, but I know that his wife and
Did he have
got
kids?
yeah, he had kids too.
What the fuck?
I know that his wife and kids got like 10 or 15 million dollars or some shit like that
From him...
from him doing what he did.
They sued him.
Yeah, probably.
Dude, imagine your family sued you like that. Like, just turned on you, your kids and your wife.
Yeah, fuck that. You're a
That's-
piece of shit.
Yeah.
You deserve to get sued
Of course
by
he
everybody.
deserved it, but like, I'm surprised he's still alive. Like, that's like some real, like, I'm going to kill myself, life is over shit.
What is he gonna do when he gets out of jail?
Like, he's going to
Your
have...
face was everywhere forever. Everyone's gonna recognize
The
you.
only thing that dude could do is leave the country and go live in like Singapore or like somewhere where no one will ever know him. Or not even, because there's American tourists there.
Yeah.
He's going to have to go to like...
Subway's in like 421 countries.
That's
or
the thing.
something.
They're everywhere. Like, he
Yeah.
can't go to Russia. He's going to have to fucking go live somewhere where there's nobody. And he's probably not going to have the money to do so. That's crazy.
I can't believe that dude even had $15 million. Like, what did he do?
He was just a brand ambassador.
I know
but,
that he
like on
worked-
steroids.
Yeah, he had like all these foundations and stuff too that like for children. Go figure. They had like foundations that were started through Subway that donated money and things like that.
That's mind blowing.
yeah, it's fucked up.
Wow. Holy fuck. Well, there we go. That ate up a good 13 minutes.
Great opening topic.
Fuck you, Jared. Oh man. So what have you been doing lately, dude? Tell me about a week in the life of Mister.
Oh, it's the most amazingly boring thing ever.
You still living with what's his name?
Sean?
No, my boy. My
Soto?
favorite Greek.
No, not anymore. He's off doing his own thing for
Is
now.
he?
I still talk to him, but yeah, he doesn't live with us anymore.
Does he have a girlfriend? Did he do that, like move up in life and get a girlfriend and move out of
sure.
the house?
I'm not sure.
I haven't seen him in a while. I saw that they had.
I heard you
Yeah, I'll talk about
plug
like
the show. I wanted to text him and tell him because I don't know if he knew.
I try to do like area things, and I saw it was like on a weekday though. I couldn't go, but
No, it wasn't.
Was it?
No, it was like last weekend or 2 weekends ago. I was there.
I was in Portland. That's why.
Yeah.
They're fun. Like they put on a fun show.
Yeah,
you know.
no, it was the Beats of Rage. It was all Streets of Rage beats that
Yeah.
they made into songs. It was pretty cool.
From Altered Beast, right?
No, Streets of Rage.
What was the one they did for
Altered Beast is their album. They used the cover for Ego Beast was like a
okay.
remade Altered Beast.
Yeah, I know a kid that did the same thing. This dude, Absolute from.
He's a fucking copycat.
I don't think they even know of each other. That's why there's so many degrees of separation in hip hop. It's funny, but so when's the last time you recorded any music?
Recorded, jeez, like
How,
2 years ago.
how come you don't have like an album out?
I did. I had the first one that I came out. That's kind of why I stopped playing shows though, because like I love rapping, I love performing, I love like the camaraderie, even though there's a super lack of it in hip hop. I love playing shows and performing and being out. But I kind of got to this point where I realized that I wasn't actively writing music, I wasn't recording music. So I was like, I feel like if I'm gonna do something, I need to, instead of half-assing it while I do something, I need to step back from all of it and not do it for a while. And then if I make an album, I'll recoup and fucking come back harder than ever, which is still the plan currently. But, I just got a new car and shit and working a bunch of overtime trying to save up money and whatnot. But I plan on, like, no one stops making music. That's why everybody's like, oh, you quit rapping? No, I didn't quit rapping. I stopped playing shows.
Yeah.
I might have a show at Toads in December, actually, because this kid asked me to play it, and I'm not going to not play at Toads. But
who's the headliner?
I don't know. Last year, I was the headliner. It
Really?
was like
I remember.
Yeah, it was like an off night. It was a decent turnout. A little disappointing because Toads is so huge, so 100 people in there looks like 5.
For like, it's like
But
a
it was
dude or
still
me and
fun.
you trying to get a show on the big stage at Toads, you're gonna get bummed because
Yeah.
like it takes a lot to fill that space.
You're coming from the basement in the green room, and you're ready to walk on stage.
and there's just like 50 people standing there looking
My
at you.
dad, like, yeah.
Yeah, Chris. No, I've had stuff like that happen, but it's like I don't know. Like I've played some pretty cool shows where like opened for bigger people, but you always think in your mind these people aren't here for me.
Yeah.
and they're all looking.
But
at
that's
me.
why you got to try and steal the crowd. Like, I've seen Political Animals do it quite a few times, opening for like Mobb Deep and shit.
Yeah, and they
But
just get them into it.
They're great. They're amazing. But the live band and everything brings like an extra element of attentiveness to people,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
as
yeah.
opposed to just a rapper
They gotta pay
dancing on
attention.
stage. And they're all on point. They're all super tight. So like, you see like a couple opening acts that are just like terrible. They don't fit the bill. I don't know how these people get opening acts at Toad's Place. You really just have to know somebody or sell tickets or whatever. So people go on and like, I'm like watching people's faces and like, it's a Mobb Deep crowd. So it's a bunch of like
It's hood.
hood ass dudes and they're just like just fucking talking shit and just hate these people. And then Political Animals comes out and they're kind of being all stone faced. And then they get like 2 or 3 songs in and people are like, holy
Vibing.
fuck. People like were not expecting it at all.
I love
and
when
that's
I
always
see,
great to see.
I love when I see people do shit like that. It makes you feel good. Me and Tim, well, I opened up for, well, I didn't open. I played a little higher on the bill when Yak Balls did his record release show for that one Siphontology album he has. And it was at this weird club in New York. And I was terrified because I got in there and there was fucking so many people. And I was like, better not fuck up today. Better not fuck up a line today. And dude, I got up there and like,
Was this AD?
yeah. I was coming for this, yeah. And dude, I don't know what happened. I just started, and before I knew it, my set was over, and it was fucking awesome.
Just breezed right through
I
it.
didn't speak in between songs like I usually do. I don't tell no fucking jokes. I just went through it, probably like 7 songs, and people were fucking psyched. And I was like, whew, okay, good. And like another time, me and Tim opened for Keith Murray.
Keith Murray. Why does that? Oh, is that the
Most beautifulest
Jamaican
thing
dude?
in this world. No, Keith
I
Murray
know.
from back in the day, like Redman, EPMD, Keith Murray. You don't remember that song? The most beautifulest thing in this world. He's the dude that hit the guy with the bar stool at the Sting and went to fucking jail for 20 years.
I know the name, and if I heard a hit, I would know it. But I'm terrible with like song names and whatnot.
He was huge, but this is like after he got out of prison, so he wasn't really that known. And it was another like crazy hood show, but it was cool. Like we stole the show for that too, and it was fun. But yeah, that's hard, man. It's really hard to like play out and like just watch people look at you and then walk off the stage.
Yeah.
and just know that they didn't give a fuck.
I think the funnest crowd I ever played for was at this Bellaterra festival like 4 years ago. Have you ever heard of Honeycomb? You know Honeycomb, the beatboxer?
Yes, I've heard the name.
He's so dope. He's amazing. But he's a friend of mine, and he's a super good dude. He's like, he'll let me rock with him whenever. And I was like walking around Bellaterra by myself, probably fucked up, probably on like acid or something. And I like see this tent, and there's like 500 people under there, and I notice it's him on stage. So I just like went to the front just to like see him, and he like made eye contact with him while he was beatboxing. He like gave me the nod, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, come up. And I'm like, no fucking way. So I go up on stage and I'm like not really paying attention to the crowd. I'm just like looking at him. And then he hands me a mic and like I go to spit a verse and I realize that like I've never stood before a sea of people.
Isn't it
And
crazy?
It's amazing. And there's lights beaming and I'm just like, it's like you're rapping your verse like perfectly, but the whole time you're not thinking about, you're just thinking about, man, this is a lot of people. Like while you're rapping, you're just
Yeah.
thinking about stuff, and
It's-
like people are going nuts. They're all fucked up, and everyone's like, yeah. And then you get off stage, and I'm trying to make it out of the tent, and everyone's dapping me up, and I'm like, dude, I feel like fucking P Diddy right now.
Dude, it's like playing a show like that and knowing it's like rapping for a crowd when it's really important is like cardio for your mind.
Yeah.
Like you can't stop. And if you do fuck up, you have to fix it instantaneously.
Yeah.
I've
botched verses with Political Animals at festivals, like fucked it up completely.
when Cage did his record release at Southpaw, he did 2 nights in a row, and then they took off on tour for it. But he opened his tour at Southpaw in Brooklyn, and he played 2 nights. And the second night, he asked Yak Balls had me and Tim come up and do this song that the 3 of us had together, and I fucked up the verse.
That's not the Northbound Traffic? Is that song?
No, I forget. It was a Clips beat we were actually all rapping over, and I fucked up my verse, and it took me like a couple seconds to recover. And while I was up there rapping, I could hear people in the crowd go, "Ooh!" Like they knew I fucked up. And as soon as I was done with my verse, I just gave a thumbs down to the crowd, and I walked out the back of the curtain out to the back. And I remember it was weird because this is when I would like LP was there, Yak Balls was there, fucking Cage was there, and they were all standing there. And this is kind of when I got like mentored through rap, and they all stopped me and they go, "Yo, man,
don't ever draw attention to it."
They would go, "Don't worry about that shit. Just keep it moving, but don't ever acknowledge
don't ever
it."
draw attention to it.
And because they saw me do the thumbs down there, and they were like patting me on the back, they're like, "It's all right, man." They just don't ever acknowledge it, because if you fuck up and maybe laugh about it, it's done. They forget about it.
Yeah.
But if you fuck up and they know you're not happy, then it sticks in their mind.
Yep.
And I remembered that for the rest, up until today. I remember that shit. Sometimes I'll fuck up a verse and I'll tell Chum, "Stop." And I'll apologize to the crowd, and then I'll keep going. And people are laughing, you know what I mean? So it's not like he sucks at rap, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's pretty terrifying when there's a lot of people and you know that you have to do well.
It's definitely, the pressure's on, so you have to do it right or fuck it up and just keep it moving, and that's it.
I'd like to play some more shows at some point. Me and Chum are working on a 4-song right now, and Tim is also starting to work on an album.
If I do a new project, Timmy Wiggins needs to be on it. So,
he will.
Tim, if you're listening to this,
he loves
I want
rap.
you on my project.
He's working on some stuff. Chum's got all kinds of different shit coming out at any given time. But once I'm out, once December hits and I don't have to devote all my time to fucking scholastic shit, because if I sit down and I write a song, but I have a paper due, it's always in the back of my mind. I could be using that time to do this, so I'll have fucking more time to do that. But
speaking of LP, isn't it insane,
dude,
where he is right now?
Dude, the last time I saw him, I was in his kitchen.
Is this
folding T-shirts,
the laptop speakers story?
You heard about?
Yeah, you told me.
Oh, dude. So we're folding T-shirts in his kitchen.
You and Cage, right?
Well, me and Tim were helping, and Cage and him were sitting on their couch, and he did some stupid reggae remix, and he's blasting it through the fucking laptop speakers, and Cage is sitting there and he's getting so aggravated and it's so loud, and he's like, "Yo, could you turn that down?" And LP's like, "Yo, man, I'm listening to this mix." And Cage is like, "You listen to a mix in headphones or in a studio with monitors. You don't listen on your fucking laptop." Dude, I was laughing so hard, and he had so many flies flying around his kitchen, and I'm whacking him with the T-shirts. It was fucking weird, and that was the last time I've really seen him.
And now he's a fucking millionaire. And Run the Jewels is phenomenal.
Then he met Killer Mike, or he was playing a show, and Killer Mike was there and saw him and was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And that's how they became friends, and then they started their project, and now they're one of the cooler hip hop acts out, and plus it's very political.
They're fucking killing it too, dude. They had the song in the Black Panther trailer. They did the song for that movie Baby Driver.
Yeah,
and they were. I saw them at Terminal 5. It's by far the best hip hop show I've ever seen in my life. They're fucking amazing.
They put on a great
Zach
stage show.
De La Roca came out for the encore. I have a video of it, and I watch it, and a tear almost comes to my eye with excitement. Dude,
those dudes are real.
Fucking explodes.
Everybody could make fun of LP, say he's a dork and shit. But
I never liked him back in Weatherman. It's funny. That's what's funny about knowing you too is that like I met Cage before from working at Shogun. And like it's funny because I can't say that it made me want to rap, but like Weatherman is like what I came up on listening to.
Yeah.
Like, 13 years old was like Weatherman, Yak Balls, Cage, Copyright, all of them, LP. And I hated LP. I didn't like his voice at all. Like I would skip songs when he was on them. I never liked him. And then like right after RTJ2 came out, I think like John Skrobach of all people posted a picture and said that he was seeing Run the Jewels, or he posted a video, and I was like this shit's pretty hype. Let me see what this is about. And I listened to it. I was like, this is fucking phenomenal. And he's great. Their dynamic is awesome. And now I go back and I listen to old Weatherman songs, and I'm like, why did I hate him?
It's like
so
a cool
much?
thing
Yeah,
to
like, why
listen
did
to all
I
the
hate him
verses
so
again.
much?
Like he's not like your average hip hop fan's hip hop guy. He's very like long. He's very tight. Like there's no spaces in between his verses. He just goes. You know what I mean? And he is kind of really unorthodox with like his cadence and shit like that. And I think a lot of people counted him out back in the day.
Yeah, that's what's funny is he's like the fucking, I forget who was saying it, but I think it was one of Satori's was telling me, one of his friends, like he's the definition of never give up. He's been rapping and like semi probably making money off of hip hop for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And like you said, people wrote him off. He was just this dude. He made beats. He was like a New York underground cat for like 15 years. He's got to be in his 40s now, right?
Yeah, he's probably 1 year older than me. He might be 41, 42.
They just blew up like insanely. Like they have Marvel contracts. Like they're fucking like, because I think Mass Appeal has a contract with like Marvel Studios. That's how they got that. They're on TV. I've seen them on, I don't know what commercials, but I've heard them on TV. Like, I'll be sitting at home and a commercial will come on.
I think they did
and it's
sell
Run
some
the
music.
Jewels. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the, like, that's fucking insane to me that they're a hip hop group.
Dude, like, Depart From Me, Bankrupt, Def Jux. That album was
How?
It was just mismanaged. What didn't sell as much as they thought it did, and he put it out there like it was, and it bankrupt Def Jux and like shut him down. Like he couldn't really do anything after that.
Thanks, Gage.
And he like fucking he kind of like went off the radar for a little while and tried to like recoup. And
That's how you did a damn good job.
well, Fantastic Damage is sick. That's a dope album.
That's what, an LP
and
album?
The one after that with the fucking metal. What the fuck was the name?
I've never listened to an LP album.
I don't know if it was after the whole Def Jux thing went, but he was still using the name because he could put out his own music under Def Jux, but
Yeah.
there was nobody like really, after Cage left, there was nobody really
Didn't
left.
have money for the machine anymore.
Yeah, and he couldn't like really run it. And then that's when he was just like fucking around making songs by himself. And that's when he got discovered. Him and Killer Mike became friends. And then he don't need a fucking record label after that. Who are they put their music? They put their music out independently, right? They're not signed.
No, they're on Mass Appeal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Nas is like a silent partner.
Silent
on,
partner, okay.
Mass Appeal. So they have the label to push them, which is awesome because they're not what you would generally think they would. Like you wouldn't think a group would be like them would be as big as they are, but that's what I love about it is that like people like my dad has heard of Run the Jewels. You know what I mean?
The thing about them is they're very like universal. Like you got LP, he's from Brooklyn, East Coast rapper, white dude. He's appealing to all those demographics. You pair him with Killer Mike,
Southern
Atlanta,
ATL, fucking
everybody knows him from that fucking couple Outkast songs he did. Whole different fucking group of people listen to him. You put them together, and it's just like that's kind of genius.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. Like my uncle is a huge Marvel fan, so just to think about the fact that my uncle, for any reason at any point in his life, was unintentionally exposed to a Run the Jewels song in like the Black Panther trailer is just amazing to me.
Yeah, that's
like some fucking super political hip hop that I listen to, and like my uncle texts me, "But did you see the Black Panther trailer?" I'm like, "Yeah." Did you hear that fucking song from Run the Jewels? And he's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, "Listen to it. It's Run the Jewels. It's fucking awesome."
I see like videos of them like playing festivals and stuff like that, and it's just like
They're great. Stage presence, everything.
They have a huge stage set up with them hands and shit. Like that's real, dude.
Have
like
you ever been to Terminal 5?
Yes.
It's fucking awesome. Just that venue in general is dope. It's like fucking the Foot Clan hideout. Like when you're on on the ground, you have the 2 balconies of people. Like people were sitting and hanging their legs off
Yeah.
and whatnot.
It's a cool
But they
venue.
come out and like they're amazing. Their stage presence is fucking dope.
People like rap there. I've heard a lot of people like complain for watching like other kind of music there. Like
Me and
but
Al might go see Circa Survive
I saw Interpol there.
November. That's cool.
I saw somebody else there. I can't remember.
Dillinger Escape Plan is playing there in November.
The last time I saw Dillinger Escape Plan was at the Webster. It was very hectic.
It sounds very hectic.
I'm actually
Is
gonna
there like
go.
a no moshing rule at Terminal 5? Do you know?
I think a lot of places
I
have
feel
that.
like it would be the type of place.
They have a no moshing rule at the Middle East.
I don't know, like the countries.
No, in Boston. You never been to the Middle East?
No,
It's like
I've
it's
only
like
been to Boston like twice. I just went there recently to see Die Antwoord.
it's a big venue upstairs, and downstairs is this small stage called TT and the Bear, and I saw Tim and Eric there. And on the side of it is like a restaurant like Mamoun's or Tangiers where they give you fucking pitas and falafels and shit. And it's good. So you could like watch a show, walk into this other room, eat like a fucking shawarma, come
place is
back.
in the venue.
Yeah, it's like all part of
awesome.
each other. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the Middle East. They've definitely played up there too. That's funny. But yeah, man, it's just like rap back then. Some people, the people that kept with it, did something good, like that, like genre of rap for that year. Like you don't hear about anybody. Like I know Cage always says he's working on new music, but it's never gonna be like he was. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Yak
they're
Balls works
all-
for Complex now.
Does he?
Dude,
What,
did you
writing articles?
Yeah, he
you
does
mean,
writing.
You mean Rude?
Dude, did you see? All right, so remember the video of the Migos and Joe Budden about to get into a fight?
Yeah.
Dude, if you
Is that him in the background?
Yeah, looking
I saw that-
terrified.
I saw that you said, "Oh, look at Yak Balls," but I thought you were like joking.
No,
that was
that's
actually him in the background.
Yeah, because I hit up Chauncey and I was like, he goes, yeah, he writes for Complex now. And after I saw the video on something else,
They even in the video that I saw, they even zoom in on his
some
face.
dude edited it and made like
to
like
show all
funny,
the faces
and
in
they
the
showed all the
background.
faces. Dude, that was pretty much one of the best videos I've ever seen. But yeah, he was there, and I remember when it was about to pop off, you could see him go like, yo, like trying to like help break it up. Dude, it
the
was so
fuck? Like,
fucking
how-
hilarious.
I can't believe why are people even talking about Joe Budden? Like why was Joe Budden interviewing anyone?
I can't stand him. He's just
He's
a dick.
terrible.
He's just a
There was
dick.
that whole thing with Drake. He went at Drake. There was those fucking.
He's trying to remain relevant.
16-year-old kids that parked outside his house
Yeah.
and were like, "OVO, bitch."
All these dudes that like do stuff like that, he's not got any records out. He's not got any songs on the radio, but he wants to remain relevant, so he'll do some shit like that to make people
and
talk
then people
about
like
it.
Complex are like, "Well, we can get some fucking views out of this.
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
get Joe Budden up here to fucking."
Yeah, who
say
else
something
does that?
stupid.
Somebody else. There's a lot of people that do that. And it's really fucking stupid. Oh, who the fuck is it? Somebody else does shit like that. all the
DMX,
time.
kind of, not really, not as much
He's,
in the
he's just crazy.
in the spotlight, but yeah, he's still tweeting about fucking. There was that one. He's like, female rappers suck. He's like Nicki Minaj, Remy, Wale, Drake, all of them.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just like Joe Budden like made like a diss against like Meek Mill last year, and it's just like it went unheard because nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, somebody will do that, and it'll catch fire like on Twitter or something, and then like go. But he also works for Complex. That's why.
Who, Joe Budden?
Yeah, him and that dude do that like 60-second like
Yeah, that
arguing
was already a thing
Yeah.
before-
Yeah. It's dumb. I don't like it.
I don't like Joe Budden.
And it's just like, all right, dude, like you think you're this kind of rapper, and that's fine. The Migos are some young ass fucking kids that were fucking broke, and they just fucking hit a gold mine, and they did their thing. Don't go and like fuck with them saying that they suck. You know what I mean? That's just not genuine. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like in the world of rap, have a conversation with them about how you don't like their style of rap. Don't go telling some young dude that he sucks, because you know he's gonna get up out of his chair
And they'll
try to
probably
fight
beat
you.
the shit out of you.
I would have fucking laughed if they were all wearing like them tight to their
Did you
neck
see
chains.
the meme? It was like, why Migos out here looking like Prince's squad?
Dude, they all had like those silk shirts, like halfway buttoned up, and like tight pants and like crazy ass boots on. Like I would have loved if they just started beating his ass wearing that clothing.
He had like some fucking like I don't know, like some
He was wearing a
Some,
white
like, Buddhist white shirt.
he had
with that
like a
long thing.
Yeah, like a what the fuck do they call those things? Yeah, it was very weird. It was very weird. But yeah, man.
I actually don't. I find the new music like sort of growing on me because you can't deny that the energy is dope. It's wild.
There's some shit that like
A lot of it's trash. Like the rappers
yeah.
are not good. A guilty pleasure of mine actually is Lil Yachty. I've heard you talk about him a couple
I
times.
don't mind him.
He's a great kid. Like,
He's
have you ever
just
seen
nice.
interviews with him?
He's
Yeah.
a nice kid.
Someone's personality
And
will
fucking
make
Joe
me...
Budden did the same thing to him.
Yeah.
He was talking shit to him, and he sat in the
And he
interview.
just goes,
he goes, yo, man,
He's-
chill,
yeah, like
chill.
relax, dude. Yeah, he's like a nice kid. Someone's personality will make me like their music. You know who actually got me like that, and I fucking love him, and I'm gonna go see him if he comes around. Post Malone.
Dude, my friend Stevie.
Post Malone is amazing.
My friend Stevie does Post Malone's merch. Actually, he moved up and he does Bieber's merch now. Oh. But he was in San Francisco on tour with Post Malone when I was out there visiting my brother. So I went and met him one day, and I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but I didn't get an Uber, and I walked the poor kid all around the fucking city, and I had my niece with me in a stroller. But he brought me back the next night. Like, we went up on the bus, and the dude is just chilling with anybody. Like, he don't give a fuck.
You met Post Malone?
He wasn't there. I went on the bus. He was inside the fucking venue. But, like, you could definitely just, like, if you knew somebody was hanging out with him, he just brings people up on his bus and smokes pot with them.
Yeah, he's like an awesome dude. Like, I see interviews
don't
with
give
him, and
a
he's
fuck.
like super nice. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever give him a chance, but a lot of people like group him in with whack rappers. I don't even consider him a rapper. He's like an R&B singer. He doesn't rap. He doesn't have bars on his entire verse.
No.
I guess now, like you've said before on this podcast, that rap is such a broad term. But also, like, 3 out of like the 12 songs, his album Stoney, I like every single song on it, and that rarely happens. I can listen to the entire album
That
all the way
never
through
happens.
without skipping a single song. He has at least 2 or 3 songs on there that are straight up like Johnny Cash acoustic guitar, like whiskey music songs.
Dude.
And he plays guitar too.
He's one of those dudes who
He's super talented.
He's like Cuddy when Cuddy wanted to learn how to play guitar.
Yeah, but he's really good.
He's
And
good.
The first time I listened to it, I was like, oh, I wonder if like he's playing this guitar or if it's like a thing. And then I've seen an interview with him where he said he learned how to play guitar because he liked the way a Guitar Hero guitar felt in his hands. So he just learned it. And he's a phenomenal guitar player.
Dude, he is like, he's one of those dudes that makes that music that he makes, but he likes weird shit.
Yeah, he's super weird. You see the BET Awards? He's wearing the Stone Cold Steve Austin vest.
Dude.
He's got that like neck beard growing in. He doesn't give a fuck.
They put him on to like a bunch of weird hardcore, and he's wearing an integrity hat in a picture, and he talks to my friend Stevie all the time. He goes, yo, you heard of Bloodlet? Yo, you heard of Madball? Like, he likes weird, obscure shit. Like, he'll listen to Johnny Cash and shit like that, but the dude makes that like super, like, he makes that kind of R&B, almost rap shit that makes girls' panties drop.
And he does that vibrato thing with his voice. Like, yeah. He's pretty fucking
The
awesome.
White Iverson song, dude.
I
that
hated
shit-
it when it first
That
came out.
shit is
It was
still all over the place.
Yeah, when
like,
it first came out, that's how everyone heard about him. But when it first came out, I was like, "Fuck this dude!" Like, that shit was so annoying. And I don't know at what point I finally just decided to give him a chance, and I listened to his album, and I fucking loved it.
yeah. He's like he's not an asshole, dude.
And
He's
like
cool.
we said, like his personality will make me like someone.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that get me that like I don't even like their music, and then I'll see an interview with them, and that's a fucking cool ass dude, and then I'll give their music a try, and now I like their music.
That's exactly how I feel, because I will not go around listen to music without being prompted. Like, I need to know the person or have like a weird connection to them to listen to it.
Do you ever love somebody's music and then just find out that they're a piece of shit, and it
Yeah.
just ruins it for
Yeah.
you, and you're like, this fucking sucks.
But on the other hand, like, you might not know anything about him and may have had like a preconceived notion, like, oh, this dude sucks. You go like backstage and the dude's totally fucking cool to you.
Yeah.
Now you're the biggest fan because he's cool to you and he's he's a real person. And I think like that's why I get so aggravated when I see all these people just being like disciples for Kanye, and I'm like, dude, like, do you know, like, that dude is like a super prick to like all people. But then there's people that are like, oh, we know him. Like, my friend Chauncey knows him, and he works for some company that like he owns, and he's like, oh, Uncle Kanye. And I just can't see him being a nice guy.
I feel, I mean, he's larger than life. That's completely different, in my
Yeah.
opinion, because he's larger than life, literally. I did notice, it occurred to me the other day, that he totally stepped down from being a maniac since he had his kids. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yes, the last
I think-
year you really
I don't know
haven't.
if it was his decision or if like Kim Kardashian had something to do with it, but somebody in his life was like, listen, you need to chill the fuck out. Like, you got kids.
Maybe his publicist and
Yeah, you got
everything, because he
kids,
was
like-
given a bad like all his like fucking freak outs
He just
on
wanted
stage
to.
and
That
shit.
was all character. You know what I mean? That was like he was all just trying to.
Or is it mental
keep
health
people's name-
issues?
Maybe. I think maybe both. I mean, you know, his mother died from like a plastic surgery or something.
Yeah.
So that'll fuck you up. I'm sure that wasn't good for his psyche.
True.
But he was just doing shit so that you'll never stop talking about Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, actually, I was playing board games at my friend.
He's trying to do the thing that Joe Budden's doing, but he's succeeding.
Yeah, he's right there. Everyone's gonna listen if Kanye says something fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But we were playing board games last night, and somebody that was there had never seen the video of him when he's like, George Bush does not care about black people. And we
Dude,
showed them that video.
that's
and they
one of the
were
most
like, "Oh my
uncomfortable
God."
things.
Mike Myers is the best part because he goes... And he like looks at him.
Imagine-
they cut to Chris Tucker, and he doesn't know what
He
to
doesn't-
say.
no
and then
one
they
knows
just
what
cut
to
the whole
do.
thing off. They're like, "Oh my God."
That was pretty ingenious, but imagine having to be Mike Myers in that moment.
Yeah, he's like, I can't do anything. I can't save this. Like, what the hell do I even say right now?
Oh my
He was
God.
getting ready to read his line off the teleprompter. Was like, he just like looks at him.
It's
and
like
is "Oh my
nails on a chalkboard, dude. You're gonna die like doing stuff like that. Yeah, man. It's like music in general is crazy, and it's not like it was 10 years ago because, like, the way that you put it out is totally different. People don't make money off of like selling records anymore. It's all about advertising and promotion. Like, if you're gonna make money off an album, you have to be somebody larger than life.
That's why it blows my mind, like to know you and to see the people that you're friends with, like, you know, Beatty and like all these people that like have all these businesses, and how Pete has like you know, the tattoo shop and Brass City Boss Sounds and all that stuff.
And
It's-
a band.
Yeah, it's crazy, like the percentage of your friends that are actually making money off of music and doing amazing things with their lives. Because at my age, you know, I'm about to be 28 in January. So at my age, like, if we all grinded as hard as we could in anything, hardcore, hip hop, it doesn't matter. The percentage of people that will end up where your friends ended up is like 5%. You know what I mean? As opposed
You
to
gotta
like,
really work.
yeah,
man.
you have to. There's so much music, and there's so much, and like the cycle of people's attention span is so much faster nowadays. You know what I mean?
It's
you guys
hard
all
to-
got cemented in at the right time.
It's hard to keep people like engaged like that. Like, I feel like when people put out music, it's got to be strategic. You gotta here. That's why people put out a single.
Well, you need to
Boom.
put it out like all the time. You need to have like 10 songs ready at any given moment,
and you need to
drop
have
them
videos
at the right time. Yeah, videos.
Nowadays, with like smartphones and computers and shit. Like back when I was a kid, like the only place you saw a music video was MTV.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't, and now you have to have one.
It just occurred to me recently when someone was talking about the MTV Awards, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, how do you even get classified for MTV Music Video Awards? Apparently TRL is still a thing. I didn't know that.
It is, and I don't know where they show it.
What do you show? Like everything comes out on YouTube. That's the same thing. When I was a kid, came home from school and I watched fucking TRL with Carson Daly.
I would come
with
home and
girls
watch-
hanging out outside the fucking place, and like, yeah, you found out about a music video because it was the #1 music video on TRL for 22 weeks. Now videos go straight to YouTube. So like, who gets considered for an award? Like, how does that even work? You know, can like anyone who put a video on YouTube be considered for a fucking MTV Music Video Award? Like, I don't even understand how that works because the dynamic of dropping music videos is so different.
The lines are blurred.
Yeah.
Like I used to go home and watch Rap City and 106 in Park.
Rap City.
And do you remember that?
Yeah, it was.
It was on BET.
I don't know if it was
Tigga in the basement.
Rap titty. It sounded like they were saying rap titty. I remember a friend of mine's mom.
Oh, the song?
flipped out and
Rap
and
titty.
She thought they were saying titty on TV, and she fucking turned the TV off and like kicked us out of his house. What was the other one on BET past midnight? They used to play like the
Slow jams?
No, like the XXX music videos.
Oh yeah, they
and
would play
stuff.
like Mobb Deep and shit
Yeah,
after
and like
midnight.
the Ludacris videos with boobies in them.
Forget
and
what the
stuff.
fuck it was called. I used to watch that too, but yeah, It's
It
different,
was
man.
like Skinamax on BET.
Everybody is measured by their social media presence now, and like if you
I
put
don't
out,
have time for that shit. I hate it. I don't
Yeah.
even have a Twitter. I do have a Twitter. I made a Twitter like 2 years ago.
I fucking have one, and all I put on when I go look at my feed, all it is my episodes of this podcast because it automatically goes to it. I don't do
Isn't
it.
it so weird? Like on Facebook, if you post political opinions, whatever you post on Facebook, the majority of people are your friends and they interact with you. And even if they're not, they interact with you. It just seems so fucking narcissistic to me to go on Twitter 10 times a day and post a little
Blurb.
yeah, and I get no likes. There's nobody looking at it.
No.
So to me, I think it's like fucking. It's
Waste-
just weird.
you're
Yeah, it's
wasting
just
your
a
time.
waste. It's like I could just text this to myself
Yeah.
in my phone and get the same fucking amount of attention. So
It's very weird. Like, people are measured now, like for music videos, by their plays on YouTube. Okay, that's it, because that'll tell you how many people it reached. You know what I mean? But as far as like yeah, Facebook is fucking crazy, man. Like I still have one because I like to know about the events, and I like to like. There's certain like things you can get from Facebook, but the whole like everybody's opinion thing and people fighting, I kind of just tune it out, and I don't like.
I don't have Facebook anymore. I deleted my Facebook.
Good.
And you were talking about the struggle rappers recently. Man, I fucking missed that group, man.
Dude, it's kind of whack now. Nobody really posts
Is
in
it? It was kind of dying down a little bit. I remember telling Brian that he needed to purge the guest list, like right before App joined.
Yeah.
I remember telling Brian like to purge the thing because I'm like, dude, I feel weird. Like a lot of these people don't know because we make fun of like some local people and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think a lot of these people just think that we're fucking assholes, but it's
Who
not
cares?
like that. But it's funny because you post in there and you see that it has like it's like seen by 38 people and there's no comments. You know, who the fuck are all these watchers that aren't? Get them out of here! Like I can just see someone like screen capping.
It's funny because like I posted the link to the podcast with Apathy in there, and Brian took
Yeah,
it
he
down.
took it down.
And I hit up Apathy. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck? This dude fucking hating on us?" And he's like, "No, I really think he just wants it to be a roast page where you just talk shit. Like you can't promote shit on there. He just wants people to roast." And I was like, "Oh, I get it now." Like,
I loved when we did the roast week and Brian I think he texted me that picture of App and was like, yo, should I post this in the group?
He
And I
got
was like,
so
"Fucking do it."
mad.
He didn't like it. And he was like, yo, whose man's is this? And App was like, oh, I
I'm the
don't know.
yo.
Maybe the only one in this group to actually make it off music. And Enemy goes, Joey Bats with a question mark.
dude, I love it because it's like healthy, funny fucking around.
Yeah.
But like when people post like those crazy ass flyers,
Were you part of it when the dude somehow got in there and posted his music video?
who that kid that they put the tear on his face? What was that kid?
I don't know. There was a random kid one day. He did like a straight up like you know the spam tag. Like he posted his music video and he was like, "Yo, this is my new single, yabba dabba dabba." And you click it and it was like some trash bullshit. I have no idea how this kid got in the group, and everyone like we were having our minds blown. And I'm
hacked it.
like, dude, who is this? And everyone was like, yo, this is not the place for this. And my boy Pete was like, I feel like this post really embodies the heart of this group right now. Like people were having their minds blown. Like how did a struggle rapper get into a group making fun of struggle rappers and promote himself to other rappers?
Kind of ingenious.
Dude, but he wasn't doing it on purpose. Like I think Brian deleted it or left it up and just immediately removed him from the group. Like I don't know how that person
Remember
got
the
in
kid
there.
that we were talking about, and Apathy made the picture and he put his little face in the teardrop? Remember that kid? And we were all talking shit, and he had like the video standing in front of like a 2000s Mercedes, and he's talking about having money, but he's like a broke dude.
Maybe.
So I remember seeing that dude on Instagram, and I don't know why, but like one day I was just feeling like an asshole, and he like posted a segment of that video, and I just wrote in the video or in the comments, trash. And then like weeks later, I wrote something on Facebook, and I didn't know that he was my friend on Facebook, and it was like some music thing, and he was like, yo, I'm a big fan. And I was like, I kind of felt bad.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know who I was in that other one. I was making fun of his music, but then he told me that he liked my music, and then I kind of get a conscience, but I'm just like, oh,
That's
I
why
feel bad.
Sometimes I did feel bad in that group, but that's why it was like I tried to focus on only pointing out things that we consciously avoid or things that we were guilty of. That's what was funny about it too, is that like that's another thing. You think that you're like, oh, people in here probably think you're a piece of shit, but it's like we're all guilty of it. Like when you first started, we all fucking spam tagged our friends.
Yeah.
You don't know how to go about it. So it's like we are hating. We are dicks, but we're not trying to be. It's really just like
It's good, clean fun.
Yeah,
It's
and-
almost bullying, but not because we're all older.
It's definitely bullying. It's definitely bullying. But that's why I tried to keep it to like a minimum. And it's like just some things like that rappers do are so fucking cringeworthy.
Yeah.
For a while we were talking about making like a struggle rapper, like a mockumentary. And we wouldn't even have to write it. It writes itself.
It writes itself.
You
It's
could
already written.
scroll through Facebook and just imitate what these people are doing. And like you could just like fucking just do the best like mockumentary about some dude who thinks he's the shit. And he like records his music out of his kitchen at his parents' house. Like dudes would be like, yo, I'm at the studio. And they got fucking egg grates on the wall with like they're in a closet. Which we all do, but don't post it like, yo, at the studio. Like just do your thing. Like
Yeah.
stop with the image shit until you have something worth showing.
There's so many dudes out there that will never give you an image of where they work or where they do their rap, and they'll put out a song and it's fucking awesome, and you're like, oh, this person is put together. But then once you see, like, take a glimpse into their life and they like live on like a fucking
Some people put too much on display. And I
Yeah,
know that
and then
fake it till
people-
you make it is like a very real thing, but some
Yeah.
people put too much on display. There's people that have the opposite effect where they post a video and you're under the impression that this person is probably getting paid off of their music. And then you meet them.
and they have a mattress
just a-
on the floor.
They're just a dude.
Yeah.
They're just so
Regular
it all
guy.
depends on what you show and what you put forward.
Yeah. It's like me. Like, I don't like making videos in my kitchen when my kitchen's dirty because I don't want everybody to think like I'm a fucking slob. You know what I mean? But at the same hand, I don't
You
have
haven't
like,
done a yo, what's in my fridge in a while, have you?
No, I always forget. Like, I should do one.
You know what else I've been lacking in my life, dude?
what?
Where's the newest work kick, bro?
It's
It's been years.
dude, work has been like so hectic for me that I've like fucking, I don't know. My boss actually, my old boss moved up in the company and left my site, but she found one day and she was like, what is this?
She didn't know about them?
No, she was like, what is work kick? And she like went through all of them. She was kind of laughing, but then one day my new boss, I took a picture of myself in my office like after hours, and like I locked the door and I was like changing for the gym and I only had my underwear on, so I like sat sideways in my chair and leaned back and put my feet up on the desk, and I put my phone across the room and set the timer, and I posted a picture of it, and I didn't think she would see it, and the next day she brings me in her office, she goes, you're half naked in your office, and she's like laughing and shit. She's like, don't do that, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll take it down. But like I kind of like try to like chill out when it gets to be like stuff that work, because I don't know, I try to like think that I'm somewhat important there.
I cannot imagine coming to see you to talk about my problems because of like I know you from this aspect.
That's why you don't counsel friends. You know what I mean? Like, I counsel people that don't know my personal life, that I'm not friends with. You don't
Have
know.
you ever had someone that you were counseling like find out about like your music and
Dude,
like,
all of them. So I work at a methadone clinic in the town that I grew up in.
yeah, person.
Okay. So there's a few people there that remember me from that. And then there's a few people there that know there's people there that like know me from growing up in the town that I
I'm sure
was
that could
friends
be
with.
inspiring for someone who's
It can
all
be.
fucked up to see you and to see where you are.
But they also know that I do music, you know, and some of them will try to like find me on social media. Like I'm not friends with anybody on like Facebook or like Instagram and shit like that, but I can't stop a patient from going to find like a music video on YouTube.
Like a Bad Apples music video.
Dude, multiple times I've walked through the lobby to go upstairs and get coffee, and I'll hear somebody playing music on their phone, and it's a song of mine. And I look over and they're just like, and they're like fucking
Doing it on purpose.
They're fucking with me, yeah. And I just laugh. I think it's funny. Like they call it a dual relationship, and like, you know, just like in like therapy world. it'd be like if you like you're my friend, but you would also come to my private practice and I would counsel you. Like you just can't do that.
Yeah.
Because me being your friend sets up a whole nother dynamic. So like when I'm like counseling somebody, drug counseling, like the minute you cross that line and become like a friendly figure, then it changes because it is a friendship. And that's when people start to ask for like special accommodations and, yo, don't get me in trouble, Ben. Like,
And if
don't.
I dumped all my shit on you, I would definitely feel weird about
'Cause you-
our normal relationship.
'cause you know.
afterwards. I know that you know all of my fucking issues and all my problems. So
Yeah.
how do I go about like a normal relationship?
Exactly. You know, and I have people reach out to me for that kind of stuff. And I tell them, like, I can't. However, I will put you in touch with somebody that'll give you those service. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's weird. Like, I go to therapy still, and I fucking tell that lady fucking shit that could get me thrown in fucking federal prison for the rest of my life. I tell everything, all kinds of my fucking dirty, crazy
I've never-
secrets, my whole life. And I leave there, and I don't ever have to see her again. And she doesn't judge me for everything I told her because that's what I'm there for, to dump my shit, process it, and leave, come back to see her in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, me and you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then the next time I saw you, I'd know all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't work like that.
That makes me nervous for anyone to like know that type of shit. Like I've never gone to steady therapy. I've been in and out. I've seen people here and there. I had to get diagnosed by the state officially with PTSD to get the medical marijuana card.
Yeah.
And it was because of my arrest. I got arrested, and not that I need to smoke weed, but a friend of mine came in contact with me and was like, hey, I got this number of this lady that you can get a card. So I was ready to go there and fucking bullshit and lie to get, diagnosed with PTSD. And I've been to a therapist. I never officially got diagnosed. And I take the test, and I'm like halfway through the test, and I just like came to this realization. I was like, I'm not lying.
You
about
don't need
any
to
of
lie.
this. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
and I was like, holy shit, like I have PTSD. And like a lot of people think PTSD and they think like they try to shit on it too, especially because of medical marijuana. Because there is a lot of people who just get diagnosed, which I'm not going to say it's right. I'm not going to say it's wrong. It is what it is. But people try to be like, you don't fucking have oh, did you go to war? There's levels to PTSD. PTSD doesn't just mean that I fucking wake up in the middle of the night from having dreams about killing people. You know what I mean? PTSD is like a fucking mental issue from trauma that you've had in your life. It doesn't
That you
have to
haven't
be
resolved,
war.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be war, and people don't look at it like that.
No, like everybody thinks because like in the news they see like people returning from war, but it's more than that. You could be like, you could fucking see somebody kill somebody in front of you, and remember it for the rest of your life. Yeah. And if that memory is fucking up your daily living,
And it
because
subconsciously affects the decisions that you make, or
that's
you
post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, when you get like, and it happens to me too, like with anxiety, I have like an emotional issue. Like, it becomes an issue in relationships as well too, because I have this thing from since I was a kid. When people cry in front of me, I get very uncomfortable. So instead of feeling remorseful, like if I'm like arguing with someone, like a girlfriend or like my mother, it was mostly with my mother. My mother got into a motorcycle accident and she had her head split open and she almost died. Mm-hmm. So now this weird thing happened where it like knocked all of the anger out of her head. Or my mother used to be a hard ass. She was tough as shit. She's fucking 100% Puerto Rican. She would beat my ass when I was a kid. And then now she's this really nice and loving and like ditzy, but she gets way emotional way too quick. Like if she asks me the same thing 4 times, I'm like, Mom, yes, I fucking told you yes. And she'll start crying and be like, oh, well, why are you mad at me? And it just fucking like drives me crazy. And that's like an issue. That's a symptom of PTSD, like feeling like spikes in emotion that you shouldn't feel. I should feel bad for this person. They're crying because, they have an issue. I should console them. But like my natural reaction that I'm having trouble getting over is to get really fucking pissed off. And be like, Why the fuck are you crying? Why are you doing this to me right now? And I get really fucking mad and I lose my shit. And
have you ever been accused of having no empathy?
Oh, definitely.
Me too.
You have like someone like, again, like you're arguing with your girlfriend and like fucking she's like all sad and shit, and I'm trying to fucking not get mad.
Yep.
And I'm trying to remain level headed, and I lose my shit way too fucking cool. And then on top of it, I'll lose my shit, and in under 5 minutes, I know I fucked up, and I say, I'm sorry. Like, I fucked up. I got way too mad. I'm sorry. And then they look at it as, well, if you can fucking say that you're sorry 5 minutes later, then you're not really sorry. Like, then why would you do it? And it's like, fucking Jesus
You
Christ.
don't know they don't understand because you'll, like, heighten and then you'll know it later.
Yeah, I always know when I fucked up, and I'm not one of those people that says spiteful shit in an argument, but like I always know when I was like, all right, I lost my cool. Like 5 minutes later, I'm like, I fucking shouldn't have done that.
I work on it, and like I've gotten better over the years, but I used to have like, my thing was if I was in an argument with somebody, maybe like an ex-girlfriend or something, and they were like, you know, criticizing me for something that I had done that I didn't think I deserved, like I would always have the last
Say
last
some
word,
spiteful shit.
and I would end it with some fucking
Yeah,
razor tongue
I
bullshit.
never got to that.
And only because it's like a thread ender. Like you ain't saying nothing after I fucking say that. And I just had to learn through years of, you know, self-exploration, therapy on my own. And I also learn a lot about like shit like that when I'm working with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like I've learned a lot over these
I could
last
imagine
10
helping
years.
someone work through their shit while you're explaining it to them. You're thinking to yourself, like, man, I should probably apply some of the things that I'm
Sometimes, yeah.
trying to teach this person.
That's called that's called transference. Say that you're the patient and you're like expressing something to me that's affecting something in my mind. Like I'm getting a memory out of it and I'm getting a feeling about
Help
it.
me help you.
That will like, no, you're like kind of pushing my button. Say you're telling me something and it's bringing up something in my past. That's called transference. And when I do it to the patient, that's called countertransference.
And that's probably not good, right?
It's natural and it does happen, but the way you deal with it is that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Like say you were like, oh, I was abused as a child. And I was thinking about, damn, I remember when I was abused as a child and I started getting weird in the session, but I'm the motherfucking therapist.
Yeah.
That's called transference. You know what I mean? And it's you got to be a really, really smart motherfucker when it comes to being like a psychotherapist, you know, like a psychiatrist, to like know when that stuff is happening. You know what I mean? Like I've definitely been in sessions where somebody told me something and I cried because I saw, like, it's probably happened to me twice in the 6 years that I've been counseling, but like they said something to me that was so powerful and I've been through it before. It usually happens when a patient completes the program and is doing well and they taper all the way down and they're clean and it's their last day and they thank me. Like I did some shit. They did it.
Yeah, you
and they'll
did
be
it.
like, thank you so much for what you've done for me. And I'll keep it in. And I never really hug a patient. Every once in a while, like a female patient will just grab me like an older lady and be like, thank you. And as soon as they leave my fucking office, dude, I shut my door and I fucking let it go. I'll fucking cry like a baby. Because that brings up those years. Like all those years of using and shit. Like that'll never leave
All
me.
the shit that you've been through.
Yeah, and like something like that. People talk about like, you know, if you were a fucking intravenous heroin user and you fucking ran the streets for 8 years and had to deal with all that crazy shit and copping and shit, you have post-traumatic stress syndrome because you were stressed the fuck out that whole time. You've been in prison. You've got
It's a war, dude.
You've got post-traumatic
That's a
stress
fucking
syndrome.
war with yourself and drugs, literally.
And there's various levels to it. You know, like a dude coming back from Afghanistan that saw his friend get his fucking head blown off. That's like top tier.
Yeah.
And then there's like little things, like a dude that fucking got fucking hit by a car when he was little that he never really forgot and he broke his leg. Like if you're still
Everybody's-
fucking thinking about it, like it didn't leave him. You know what I mean?
I don't know the exact statistic, but I've seen a statistic that's like a very excessive amount of people actually do have PTSD. But we live in such a culture of handle your shit, be a man about it, that people like bury shit and don't realize that it can and will fucking come back on you 10, 20 years later. Like someone will be abused when they're a kid and they don't think that it matters to them or affects them, but then 20 years down the line when they have their own kids,
They repress it and then it comes out later.
out like tenfold and
Yep.
they're like, holy shit, like this fucked me up. But we live in such a culture of like, you know, handle your shit and fucking be a man about it and ignore that. Like the mind is a crazy fucking thing.
It's fucking crazy, man. And the thing is, like, the further we go, like, there's more people in this world than there's ever been, especially in this country. And there's more situations happening, and there's people putting themselves in more dangerous situations every day. So when somebody tries to like make the argument about like that, like man up shit, look at the world we live in.
Yeah.
Dude, you could fucking get bummed out from just watching the
There's
news.
a lot to be worried about right now.
Yeah, man. And it's not like, it ain't like it was, man. It's crazy. And it's just like, That's why I never judge somebody when they come in as a therapist. You know, like if I got a soccer mom that was fucking doing, you know, she fucking took all her Percocet when she got her tooth pulled out and she turned to drugs like that, like in the addict's fucking world, that's like down here.
Yeah, it's like the-
and you weren't living in the fucking street with a needle in your arm for 10 years, you know what I mean? But that's her situation. That's why I can't judge her, you know what I mean? I help her with the situation. They say meet them where they're at and take them from there, you know? It's like, you know, both ends of the spectrum, man. People could be doing like really little shit and people could be involved in some crazy
But
shit.
to them, that's the lowest they've ever been.
Yeah, that's her bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's crazy. And like, yeah, PTSD is a new diagnosis. It just got into the DSM-5. Like that's the statistical manual with all like the codes for every single ailment.
Which is crazy to me because they've been talking about PTSD for how many years now. So for it to be officially
Well, the thing is like
recognized.
when dudes were coming back from fucking Vietnam, they
Yeah.
called it shell shock.
Yeah.
And now that all these people came back from Desert Storm, and then all the kids came back from the
Iraq
second
and
Iraq War and
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan and fucking the Chechnya, like all the fucking crazy like Balkan wars. Like now it's a thing because it's affecting Americans, and there's more research out there. We're moving into the future. There's more shit to look at technology wise and like fucking really find out what's going on with somebody's brain that they did put a name to it.
And I feel for those people too. Like I would never even dare to compare my level of PTSD to them because those people, they can't even be outside around a group of 5 people for more than 10 minutes without freaking the fuck out. Mine is more of like affects my emotional decisions and how I interact with people that I love.
But the thing is, for them, as far as medical marijuana goes, they go get that card, and doing marijuana helps reduce those symptoms. I don't give a fuck what it is. Let them have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that works for them.
I had a lady too because I had to go. It was such bullshit because I'm on probation, about to be over November 17th. I can't fucking wait. But I had to go. So basically, I had my card. So they had on file that I have my card. So I get random urine screens and I test positive for marijuana.
You mean at your work?
No, through the state of
through
Connecticut.
the probation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they evaluated me, and my lowest level. I'm on the lowest level of probation. I don't have a probation officer. My
Non-reporting?
probation, is JAMS.
Okay.
Judicial fucking something adult. Blah 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 blah.
Yep.
Blah. So you cannot get a hold of them. I had the lady that was gonna be my probation officer calling them in the beginning. They will not answer the phone. They literally just don't pick up the phone. You leave them a message like, say, hey, I need to leave the state in 2 days. My fucking mother is getting married. I need to leave the state. I need permission. They will not call you back, and they'll call you back 2 weeks later and be like, yeah, it's okay. You can leave the state. Well, I already fucking did 8 days ago, so I could have got arrested because I didn't have permission. So I can't get a hold of anybody. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know anything. And I start getting these letters in the mail about a year and a half in that says, you have not completed drug fucking courses. I'm like, I don't need to do drug courses because I fucking have a medical marijuana card. So they start sending me these things saying that I'm failing my urines and that I have 60 days to do drug courses or I'm going to violate my probation and fucking go to jail for the rest of the 2 years. So I'm calling them. No one's picking up. So I finally enroll in this program. And I had to go see this lady every fucking week and do drug screening. And so now I'm getting random urines. I'm getting drug screened by this lady every week. And she's like trying to mediate for the medical marijuana and the PTSD. And she's like, she's like, here's my whole plan. And she's giving me the layout. I had to sit in front of like a council of 6 people and all this shit. Super uncomfortable because I've never shared with more than one person like my experiences and the shit that fucked me up. So now I'm sitting in a room of 6 people that I don't know, telling them all this shit,
Judging you.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, so we want to break down a plan to work on the PTSD, and we also want to see if there's something that we can do to treat the PTSD and the marijuana use. And I'm like, no. The marijuana use is the treatment for the PTSD. And they're like, really, it's a drug clinic. So they're like, well, there's no research to support that marijuana helps with PTSD. In fact, there's actually research that shows that contradicts that statement that says that marijuana makes PTSD worse. And like they would keep saying it every time I saw them. Like, we want to work on something for the marijuana, and I kept having to tell them, I understand what you're saying. I'm trying not to get pissed. I'm like, I respectfully decline your treatment. I'm not here to get treated for marijuana. I'm here to fucking because I need to be here, and I don't want to be that dude like, fuck you, I'm here because I need to be. I'm not going to listen to what you're saying.
What was your original charge? Marijuana?
Possession of narcotics with intent to sell, possession of, I don't know what I got convicted of. I had a lot of charges.
That intent to sell is the one that they're trying to push on you. It's weird because
I had a lot of charges. They fucked me because I don't know if I ever told you the story.
You called me for your advice when you first got arrested.
I fucking should have took your advice, but you know what it came down to was, because remember I told you what my lawyer told me, and he said, listen, we can fucking go in there today.
It sounded like you had an asshole lawyer is what
No, he was my decision. He didn't push
He was making it pretty bleak.
Yeah, but again, there's a slight chance that he just wanted to be done with it. But what it came down to is I just wanted to be done with it. I had a new fucking job. I never had a job my entire life. I lived till I was 25 years old by fucking hustling, by selling weed, doing what I had to do, paid my rent off of that till I was 25 years old. So, you know what they say, like, you're either going to fucking get arrested or you're going to get robbed, and that's how you're going to stop. And I'm thankful that when I got arrested, it wasn't from my own shit. I never got caught. I never got raided. I never got caught selling drugs. Still, even though I've been arrested, I never got caught selling drugs. I wasn't selling drugs at the festival. A friend of mine...
Oh, that's right. You were at a festival.
A friend of mine used my truck as a landmark. Like, he was walking around, met a dude who was an undercover cop. Guy said, oh, you got any mushrooms? He said, yeah, I got to get more. I'm camping over at that white truck, and used my truck as a landmark. So when they came to our campsite and he sold this dude at 8th, I knew he was a cop. I fucking knew he was a cop. And I flipped out on my boy, and I was like, dude, get the fuck out of here. He walked the guy away. I ran through my head a million times of what I could have done. But what I actually did do was go to sleep in the back of my truck, and I literally got woken up to our campsite getting raided, and they knew who they were looking for. They didn't search anybody's tents. They came straight to my truck, arrested me without saying anything to me. No shirt, no shoes, just wearing some shorts, arrested me and put me in jail. And they wrote in the report that they had ascertained that myself and this other kid were working together and selling drugs out of my truck. Imagine their disappointment when they impound my truck that has about 8 backpacks in it from everybody keeping their shit. They're like, oh, we fucking got him. They impound my truck, didn't touch his car, impound my truck, bring us to this fucking dungeon, like literally an abandoned building with a cage in the corner, like a bird cage, lock us up, go through everything. And I'm watching them. They have to like come through the garage and into the back room to go. They're bringing backpack after backpack. And I don't know what's in the backpacks. They're not my backpacks. And we're sitting there handcuffed to a table, and I lean over and I go to this kid, I go, yo, anything that's in those fucking backpacks is yours. And he's fucking losing it. He's been arrested before. And I'm like, everything that's in those backpacks is yours, dude. You fucked up. I didn't fucking do anything to get this. So I got caught with like 2 hits of acid, like a half a gram of ketamine, and like a couple eighths of weed. And they fucking are taking backpacks into the room, like 10 backpacks. And then they come out, like 3 of them, with this real stern look, and they're like, so where's the mushrooms? Like they wanted to find pounds of mushrooms, and they didn't find shit. They caught me with 2 eighths of weed, a couple hits of acid. They caught him with an eighth of mushrooms because he doesn't sell drugs. He had bought like an ounce of mushrooms and was trying to sell enough so that he can get his for free. And he had sold them all by the time they arrested him. So they thought, we fucking got him. We got so much shit. They didn't find shit. And they got pissed. So they threw all these bullshit charges. They charged me with possession of hallucinogens with intent to sell, possession of narcotics with intent to sell, possession of marijuana with intent to sell.
Did they give you the overthrow the government charge?
What is that?
A lot of people, when they get arrested with LSD, they throw in this stupid charge that always gets dropped, but it's like conspiracy to overthrow the government.
Really?
Because of what it's linked to back in the day.
They might have.
Yeah.
I think I had a total of like 9 charges, and I had to plead to, but that's what I was getting to, was what it came down to was I finally said, fuck this, I'm going to get a job. So I got a job at Subway headquarters. I have a brand new job that pays good. I got money coming in, and every fucking month, sometimes twice a month, I have to go to court. And I got so tired of it after like 6 months. And that day that he said to me that I had texted you, that day that he said to me, he came in, he said, listen, we can go in today. You can plead to this felony. You'll be on probation for 2 years. No jail time, nothing. Because they were hitting the other kid with jail time. That was their original offer, was jail time. No, they didn't want to hear nothing. Like, you're going to jail. So he said, this can be over today. You can go home today, a convicted felon, or we can try and fight it. But by the time my case would get escalated and comes up, it would be a new judge in there. And he said the judge that will be in there in a month is an asshole, and he likes to make examples of people at festivals. He's notorious for it. So he said, if we fight it, there's a chance that you can end up with something worse than your initial deal. And you said to me, I've never heard of anybody getting something worse from fighting it. But you know, like really what it came down to is it was my decision. And I was like, I fucking have a job. I can't deal with this shit anymore. And I can't lose my job because I'm having to lie to my employer and tell them that I have a family issue twice a month. You know?
It doesn't work.
And I'm on a probation period at work, so I have no PTO. I'm not supposed to be taking days off. And like my fucking boss doesn't know what it's for. So I was like, you know what, fuck this. So I just plead to the felony, and it sucks, but it is what it is.
So now you have a felony record?
Yep.
When you're all done with it, I'll give you my lawyer's.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that guy. So what is it? Is it 7 years?
They change it all the time. It might be 5 now, but
from the point of conviction, right? Not
think it's
at the end of my probation.
no, I think it's from point of arrest.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So you might have a little
I'm
bit-
already fucking 2 years.
Yeah.
Done, so
He's cool. Costs a little bit much, $2,500.
Yeah.
But for like somebody like me,
I heard you say, for someone like you, I heard you say, he's only lost like twice. So I'm almost.
he's been working for 30 years. One of the guys was a murderer, and the other one was from out of the country. That's
and
why
I've
they
never
didn't
been
do it.
arrested before this. Like
Yeah.
the woman it was kind of fucked up. The woman that I went to see that was going to be my probation officer, she was like, I came in, she was all confused. And she was African American, and she's like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought you would be black. And I was like, why? What does that even mean? And she's like, I looked at your file, and you've never been arrested, so I assumed that they fucking tried to make an example of you. And she's like, I didn't expect you to be a white boy. And I was like, I don't really fucking understand what you're saying. And she's like, I just don't understand. You've never done anything wrong. How the fuck did you end up with a felony on your first arrest?
Yep.
And I was like, I got fucked. That's
Yeah.
what I've been
A
trying
bunch
to
of
tell
dirty-
everybody.
A bunch of dirty cops fucked me over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my shit was like, I got caught with brass knuckles in my car, and the cop that arrested me gave me a felony charge, but let me leave with a $250 fine. How does that work? Like, how do you give somebody a felony charge, but you
and let them walk away?
like he took me to the police station and let me leave. But it's like, okay, that means it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking misdemeanor. So now I got this fucking felony charge on my fucking. That's what got me thrown out of the army. 19 years old.
What did you go to jail for?
Credit card fraud.
Credit card fraud.
Hell yeah, I was fucking finding like credit cards and just like running them down for cash.
Finding
Finding
credit cards.
credit cards and running them down for cash and like using the cash for heroin. And I did it one time, got arrested. The judge put me on probation. It was just like, don't fuck around. And then the next time when I did it, they were pretty much like, you had your one chance and you got arrested for the same thing. But this is weird. I never, like, I'm sure that I looked like it, but I never admitted to anything about having a drug problem. Because if I did, they probably would have gave me a program. They wouldn't have gave me prison time.
Yeah.
But I was just like, fuck it. And I had a public defender because I didn't want to tell my parents. And that's what screwed me on both of them. The brass knuckles thing and the fucking credit card shit. I've got one drug charge in my whole fucking thing, and it's because I got pulled over in my mom's car with a blunt. All those years of smoking dust, smoking crack, shooting coke in my vein, dope, never fucking got in trouble for that.
crazy
But I
how
got in
that
trouble
shit
for
happens,
fucking
right?
dirt weed and a fucking brass knuckle. Fucking, it's garbage.
So I'm saying
man.
it's crazy for me to have been arrested for someone else's bullshit and not my own. But I consider it a blessing because God forbid if I had ever fucking got my own house raided, I'd have no one to blame but myself.
But
you know?
yourself, yeah. See, I know a lot of guys, I know a lot of lawyers now that like, if they know that they got a person that's like a chronic marijuana user because they tell them, I need this to live. Like, I'm so anxiety ridden without it. I smoke weed all day and I'm just baseline regular person. Then they'll usually make that call to a doctor to get them a card
The lawyer will?
just so when they get in trouble for weed the next time, as long as they're not selling it, when they get in trouble the next time, they're off the hook because they're illegal. You know what I mean? And dude, we've seen this state and this country change so much as far as medical marijuana in the last 10 years, and it will change
In the last 2 years, dude.
and look into the future. You know what I mean? Like, look what it's going to do.
I know you've said to me before that you support medical and not recreational, right? Mm-hmm. I sort of agree with that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to be able to. I don't like how stringent our program is because ours is all based off of the numbers. Like, you can't look at the weed. You go in and you have to like base it off of level of THC.
You have to pick it out,
CBD.
yeah.
So you don't even know what it looks like. It could be some garbage.
And that's what keeps it clinical for them. Because if they got a bunch of fucking potheads going there picking the furriest, prettiest weed, that's not clinical.
Yeah.
But if they read through the menu and they're like, my ailment works best with high CBD numbers, and they fucking pick it out that way, then they know that it's like a medication. You know what I mean? But like, I was just gonna say something smart, but I forgot. But well, my whole thing about no recreational is my whole argument for that is like young kids. That's it. Like, the fucked up thing about this country is you can be 21 years old and go and buy beer and alcohol, which is one of the deadliest drugs you can ever do. And in some states, it's 18. The human brain.
in some states in the United
Some
States
states are 18. Yeah.
No way. I thought that was a federal 21.
They might have changed it now. When I was a kid,
Yeah, I think
there was a
I think
couple
it's
that were
federally
18.
21.
But for marijuana, the human brain is not fully developed until 24. So imagine you had these stores
18 or even
that
21-year-old kids.
anyone could go into, an 18-year-old.
Super high potency marijuana and fucking.
And imagine what that's going to do to them in their end stages of their brain developing. The next generation is going to be a bunch of fucking dummies.
I know just what it did to me. Like, I've been a daily. I mean, it's funny because I smoke less now that I have the card, but I've been a daily smoker since I was like 14 years old. I fucking look back on my life and feel worthless. Like, I did nothing. I did fucking nothing till I was 24 years old. I didn't do shit. I didn't have a license. I just smoked and hung out with people. I've never traveled outside the country. I've never been to the West Coast. I never had a desire to because I was just fucking high all the time. I just wanted to chill and get baked. And it wasn't like a addiction type thing, but you look back on it, it's like, man, I was fucking lazy as shit. I didn't do anything but sit and smoke weed.
So
I just wasted so much time.
Imagine if we had a nation of 18-year-olds doing that.
Yeah.
It would fucking be crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People would be dropping out of school left and right. There'd be so many problems. And don't get me wrong, man, like, medical marijuana does work for all those diagnoses that they have right now for Connecticut.
Yep.
But for as far as an 18-year-old kid going into a store that's like a fucking package store and being able to pick out whatever they want, shatter, wax, all that shit, doing dabs and shit, like, it's not going to kill you, but it will make you unproductive and take the focus off what you
It
would have
stunts your
wanted to do.
motivation, for sure.
Totally. But as an adult, it doesn't. Because nowadays, I know you can function on marijuana
I
and
work
go do the
fucking
rest of your
50
day.
hours a week. you
Yeah.
know, and I just smoke when I get home. I don't smoke before work. I don't need to. I really don't smoke outside my house. I don't fucking, like, when I'm out, maybe I'll like take a hit of something, but like when I'm out and people are like, oh, you want to fucking go smoke this blunt at a show? I'm like, no, I can't, because then I'm just going to stand here in this show and be awkward as shit and not want to talk to anyone. Like,
If they opened up recreational stores in Connecticut and the age was 24, I'd be all about it. It creates jobs. It's an economy booster. You know what I mean? But like, you got young kids, man.
but do you know what the age is in the recreational states? Do they do 18 or 21?
Either or, it's still too young. That's why. You know what I mean? It's still too young, and they're not ever going to put 24 on it because they're not looking at
because they don't actually fucking do research on medical marijuana. And
The only people that do are the people that have a vested interest, like grow labs, dispensaries, and that's it. Dudes that are trying to make money.
Independent research, and it's not verbatim because the
And it's
government
not
doesn't
funded.
recognize it because they don't fund it.
And it's not funded, and it never really happens on a big scale because those dudes don't have money to be putting out, because that shit costs a lot of money
Yeah, millions
to
and
do, like,
millions of
fucking
dollars.
blind research and fucking, placebo studies and shit like that, and to have it peer reviewed and empirical articles and make it legit. That shit costs a lot of money. You know what I mean? But if I wanted to fucking write a fucking a paper and have it published in a fucking journal about, like, something that I went to school for, or like heroin or something, somebody would pay for it because it's clinical. You know what I mean? And give it 10 years, then it will be. You know what I mean? And also, people will start doing research on it when shit starts to go wrong and all these kids are dumb, and you see fucking like college fucking application rates fucking got cut in half and shit like that. You know what I mean? And another thing, poor kids are going to get fucking arrested for it. Just like what happened to you is going to happen to all these younger people, and it's not good. That's why I take my stance. But I think mine is correct. But you know, if somebody wants to argue like the fact, it's science. Like you can't change my mind about how the brain doesn't fully develop until 24. That's just like the baseline. You know what I mean? But on a whole, it works. It works. We've seen it work.
Yeah.
Intractable spasticity of like the spine and shit like that. It works. Fucking glaucoma.
Have you seen, like, you know, I hate to fucking cite like a Facebook video, but there's that one video. There's two of them.
Autistic kids and
the
stuff?
autistic kid having a seizure where she rubs the oil on his feet.
Yeah, a lot of people say that video is bullshit, and the one with the dog is bullshit, but it is real. But
Have you
like
seen
the videos they put out are weird.
There's the other one of the guy who's trying marijuana for the first time, and he fucking
The dude that can't stop stuttering and shit.
he's fucking shaking.
He's
and
clicking
going
and,
sick.
yeah, having
and
a-
they just speed the footage up, and in under 3 minutes, he sits up on the couch and he's like, they're like, how do you
Smiling.
feel? He's like, I feel great. Like
Yeah.
he's perfectly. And so imagine if they put the money to research it. Imagine if they were able to fine tune, because you know they have THCA and THCB and CBD.
THCV. There's a new one now.
So
and once they start like
imagine if they had the money to know how to isolate the
when they
different
isolate
things.
those and see what they do, then the real work will
Yeah.
get done. I just talked about it. I take my last class for school is a co-occurring class, and it's all about drug abuse coupled with mental health issues. And my professor is kind of like a cool guy, kind of like a hippie dude. You know what I mean? He came in wearing Grateful Dead Crocs the other day. Dude, I was losing it. He made us watch a documentary the other day all about the medical benefits of DMT,
I've seen that before.
MDMA, and psilocybin when they are like isolated for use for like treatment of like.
Is that the one where the guy takes the guy who owns the liquor store who takes the mushrooms once every 3 months because of what's that chronic headache disorder?
Yeah, dude, they're
Is
doing
that-
it
is
for
that the one?
cluster headaches
Where
and
people like it's some crazy, you might know, but it's something like really like 80% of people who have this disease commit suicide because it's the worst. The guy said it's like putting a hot knife into your brain constantly all the time. And this dude he has to go fucking to some sketchy neighborhood and buy an eighth of mushrooms once every 3 months, grinds it up into a powder, puts them into capsules, and he trips. It's pretty funny. He's like a full grown man, and like, you know, his kids are like 15, and the mom's like, okay, dad's gonna take his mushrooms, and like he's hanging out in his room, like staring at the ceiling, tripping balls. But for 3 months, he gets 0 chronic headaches.
Yeah.
And there's no treatment for his disease, and they can't do anything. So his last resort is to eat mushrooms, and he's like, I've been doing this for fucking like 10 years and I feel fucking great. I own a liquor store. I love my family. Like I'm able to be around my kids without being like a fucking maniac, without wanting to kill myself. That's amazing.
yeah, they spoke about like MDMA, DMT, and like all these like, you know, brain opening, mind opening drugs and their benefits, right? And it looked like it was a couple of years old, and there's new ones out now, but they were talking about migraines and cluster headaches. And the only thing that work really for migraines right now is this medication called what it is. I got a couple patients on it, but it's got a little bit of a barbiturate in it, and that's why it works.
Barbiturate is what? Almost like
Like an old school weird
like a benzodiazepine kind of?
No, it's an old school, almost like a Quaalude kind of drug, and people come up rarely for it, but it's the only thing that works. But it is a narcotic. But now they're doing these studies where they're like, it's not like ecstasy you would get at a rave.
Yeah.
They break down MDMA and they just
Chemically.
take that one molecule and they make small like batches of it, and they give it to the people that are having cluster headaches. And the thing that it does in the brain is it makes it, people get cluster headaches, or these people are you doing it because they're not producing serotonin correctly. And it backs up in the brain and it causes these headaches that last for like days. And they're the ones you're talking about. The people want to fucking kill themselves.
Yeah.
And they're microdosing these people with MDMA, and it turns that pump on inside your brain to start making a little bit more and the headaches go away. So that's why they're looking into research for that. And they're doing it with everything. Like psilocybin does something for like anxiety and stress like that, but not enough to make somebody trip. It's called microdosing. Meg has a kid she used to work with that microdoses mushrooms every single day. Like, I mean, a small, minute amount to keep him baseline, because if he doesn't, he's fucking losing it, and he doesn't believe in like medicate, like regular pharmaceutical medication. Yeah, man, that shit is crazy. That stuff really like intrigues me because of the field I work in, and also doing them all as a younger kid and understanding what it does to you and the way it opens your mind, and it really like takes away like your ego just gets stripped away. You're just a regular fucking person in a world like with everybody else, and you're not better than anybody and you're not lesser than anybody. But the minute those drugs wear off, your ego's right back and you're back to fucking big fucking Ben, cooler than everybody. You know what I mean? And that's why I think shit like that is cool, because if everybody at one point in their life was opened up to something like that, I really do think the world would be a better place.
Yeah, it's
Starting with marijuana, because it kind of does the same thing. When you eat marijuana, it does that. It does a totally different thing.
I haven't done it since I was tripping when I got arrested. I don't know if I mentioned that.
That would be terrifying.
I was on acid and a couple other things. I wasn't peaking or anything. You know, it was the morning, so I was coming down, but I was definitely on drugs. So
You were definitely weird.
yeah, it wasn't fun. But I actually have a funny story that I was thinking about. I was wondering if we were going to talk about acid, because your story that you told with Tim.
Oh, dude, that was one of the most terrifying days of my life.
I had in like 2012, I took acid with my roommate Sean, and we took it with this kid Austin, who had never taken acid, and I think he was like fresh out of rehab or something like that for like opiates, and he was like trying to hang out. It was 4th of July. And he's like, you know, what does it feel like? And I'm like, I don't know how to fucking explain it. Do you want to take it or not? So we took acid and we're walking around. It's nighttime. And we're walking past this house down by the beach. And we're like peeking. And Austin just stops on the sidewalk and he looks to his left. And he's like, what? He's like, what? You need help? You want me to help you? And me and Sean are looking at him like, dude, shut up. What are you talking about? Like, come with us. You're freaking out. He's like, no, this lady needs help. This lady needs help. And we're like, what the hell are you talking about? So there's a woman behind the bushes, an old like 80-year-old woman, and she's laying on the ground like she had fallen going up her steps into her house. So I'm like, holy shit, there is a lady here. You're not just freaking out. So we go over and we're like trying to pick her up, and she's like, I can't. She's like, my leg is broken, and you know, I'm tripping. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, holy shit, this is way too much for us to handle right now. So she's like I want to help her, but I also want to just fucking run away and grab him and be like, let's get the fuck out of here.
This is too
She'll
much to
figure it
handle.
out. So she's like, I need you to get my husband. I'm like, okay, how? And she's like, knock on the door. So I start knocking on the door, and she starts freaking out. I'm freaking. She's like, knock louder. So I'm banging on this door, and she's like, just open it, and yell for Bob, whatever the fuck his name was. So I open the door to this house, and I'm like, Bob. And the guy's like, what? Like, he's like not responding to Bob. He's just like, what? Why are you yelling at my front door, and who the fuck are you? So now here I am on acid I'm halfway in this person's house screaming.
Terrifying.
Like, your wife is out here. She fell. Like, I think she broke her leg. She can't get up. And this dude comes running down the stairs, has no idea what's going on. And he just looks me dead in the face, and he goes, my wife? Like,
I don't have a wife.
Yeah, like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then it just hit me, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I think I just broke into this guy's house. Like, I don't know what happened. And he opens the door, and he looks at her. I don't know if it was like his mother, and she was senile, and she was saying, get my husband, but it was actually her son, or if he had no idea who she was.
Yeah.
So he opens the door. He's so confused. My fucking pupils are probably the size of my head. And like, he's like, what the hell is going on? And I'm just like, oh my God. And I don't even know how I got out of there. I think we kind of just all backed up and like slunk out and let him take care of it. But I was like, I'm pretty sure this woman just had me break into someone's house. She could have been at the wrong house. I don't even know. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is way too much. And we kind of just like really slowly like backed up and like let him take care of it. And
That's
just
hilarious.
Walked away. I was like, no way.
Yeah, man. Like, everybody talks about like bad trips, and
I've never had a bad trip.
I've never had one when I was younger.
Even uncomfortable ones. The next day, I was like, yeah, it was pretty fucking cool.
I definitely like some weird shit has happened. Like, weirder shit has happened to me when I wasn't tripping. Like, I definitely was involved in like some supernatural shit at my friend's house one day that fucking still scares me to this
Like
day.
ghost shit?
Yeah, and like
Let's talk about it.
Oh, all right, fine. So, one day I used to have this girlfriend, Jen Silver. She's now married to my friend Damian Silver, who's a fucking awesome like artist. He works for Converse. He like designs like shoes and shit. They live up in like Great Barrington now. But at the time, she was my girlfriend, and my friend Ryan Skelsky was dating this girl, Jenna. Me and Ryan were best friends. Those two were best friends. So we hung out together all the time. One night, Jen was like a super hippie. She was like this girl that knew these people all over the fucking world. She was like festival girl before there was festivals, okay? And I was a young, weird, hardcore kid. So it was kind of weird, but we made it work, you know?
Yeah.
And she found out that I like to do shit like that. She did. I was like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, we got all together one night. We all fucking took some mushrooms. So, or it was in the day. So that night, I was done tripping. I had eaten a bunch of food. There was nothing left. Okay, I was not tripping at all. So I'm sorry. I'm doing two different stories. The day we did this, we all walked around this church where they had Christmas lights outside, and she had this. She was one of those girls that would have like a fucking dude make her like some crazy ass glass piece and fucking trade some shit, and it was like so much money, and she would like cherish it. She dropped it, and it set her off into like a bad trip. I remember her sitting in the back of someone's car with a blanket over her, not wanting to associate with everybody. She was crying when normally she probably wouldn't have cried.
Yeah,
over
but
like her
while tripping, that was her fucking lifeline.
Yeah, over her weed pipe getting broken. So I remember this happening, and we left her in the car, and we all walked around and saw the lights and shit. We came home. I brought her home. Ryan brought her girl home, and I went back to his house. And then the next day, we all got back together, right? And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe I was acting so weird last night. And we were like, yeah, you could probably fix that pipe or whatever, or he'll make you a new one. And like, she was just like, felt real stupid because she had like broke her fucking weed pipe, whatever. So we go throughout the day, and we end up all hanging out again that night. And we like fucking used to smoke weed and shit, but like you smoking marijuana, you're not fucking like weird crazy shit isn't happening. You're just high on marijuana, right? People that never done it think it's like, oh, it's fucking
like in the movies,
crazy
Technicolors melting down the walls.
It's just like being drunk, but a different thing. It's not like anything, like you don't visualize anything. So we were just like smoking weed, and like we were out, and we came home one night. Now Ryan lived in this house that there was definite other things had been happening in this house for years. It's built in like the fucking late 1600s, early 1700s, like definitely has a past. So growing up, his mom had said she saw shit in the house. There was like, they added on to the house, and there was like different parts of it, and they had different apartments.
Which they say like bothers spirits when you renovate.
They did this shit to this house, right? And for years they would see a little black Scotty dog running around. Nobody owned a fucking Scotty dog. And they just figured out that it was like some paranormal shit going on, right? So another time when he was born, his mother was super young, and she's like hippie type. And she had put clothes in the dryer, okay? And she goes to get the clothes out of the dryer, and she opens up the dryer, and there's nothing in the dryer. And she could just feel like the fucking hairs on the back of her neck standing up, like static. She looks up. The fucking clothes are fucking tied together in an X, and they're sticking to the ceiling. And then they just all fall on her. And she's like, what the fuck? Crying, freaking out, telling people don't believe her kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So everything seems so over the top unless you're the one who fucking experienced it.
So, and like his parents, his grandmother was super religious. They had ties with like the St. Matthew's Church, and they had a priest come to their house one day because they thought there was like a demon living in the house. Like it was like some exorcism shit. They had the Warrens come to their house. You know who the Warrens are, right?
Yeah, I went to their house when I was younger.
Lorraine Warren asked them, please don't ever ask us to come back here. That's how bad this shit was. Okay? So one night after just hanging out like some teenagers, we fucking go back, and he lived in this house with his fucking 80-year-old grandma, Nana, and Poppy. They're old. His mom and dad, his mom's boyfriend, and their 2 younger children, and him. So there's all these people sleeping in the house. Like, I don't care how much of a joke you want to do. You're not going to do anything to wake up your 90-year-old grandma. You're not going to pull a prank on somebody and do that, right?
Yeah.
We had been in the house before, like in the days, like after school and shit, and the doorbell would ring. And we'd go look and nobody would be there. And we'd always be like, what the fuck? One day, like, we made one person stand at the front, one person stand at the back, doorbell goes off. We're like, what the fuck? So we had always remembered that throughout growing up. So we come home one night, it's like fucking 1 in the morning. Like, no, maybe like 1, 2, 3 in the morning. I bring Jen upstairs, and it's Brian's bedroom, and there's 2 like twin beds, but there's a cot on the floor for some reason. I lay on the cot with her, and the TV was on. I turned it off. And like making out, and he's downstairs with his girl, and they're making something to eat, right? So all of a sudden I just hear bing bong, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and she looks at me like, who the fuck would ring the doorbell? I'm terrified
Because you already know.
I know what the fuck's about to go down. I was like, oh my God. And all of a sudden I just hear this fucking crazy noise, and it sounds like there's 4 horses running up the stairs, like clip-clopping on fucking like
wood.
All of a sudden the door just fucking flies open, and in comes Ryan, white as a ghost. And he's not that good of an actor. He couldn't have acted this out. And he's got Jenna under his arm. He flies in the door, shuts the door, and he like leans against the dresser, and he's going, this dude's terrified. He's straight up really terrified, right? And I'm like looking at him, and I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? He starts crying. She starts crying. They're not actors, okay? I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I'm like, holy fuck, what's happening? He's just like, he can't even speak. All of a sudden, the door opens up. Here comes Nana. And she's like looking around the room. Here comes the fucking family. Everybody woke up, right? He ain't gonna do that. He's not trying to wake up the whole family for
at
some
3 in the morning.
for
Wake
some
up your Nana to prank you.
for some practical joke shit, right? His mom comes in. She's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" All of a sudden, Nana looks at him and goes, "You saw him, didn't you, dude?" I fucking wanted to leave so bad. I was fucking about to lose it. The hair on the back of my neck is standing up. I'm terrified, right? And everybody's just like, "What?" And she like, she kind of like sugar-coated it, but over the next day she kind of explained to us that when the Warrens were asked to go there back in the day, there was a demon in the house that was a certain type of demon that would only place itself in a house where there was beautiful young girls. Okay? Ryan's mother, you see a picture of them on the wall, and they're like real 70s, like Manson family types. Hair parted down the middle, like flower girl hippie types, and her and her sister, they're all fucking smoking hot. The fucking weird thing was, Ryan's girlfriend, Jenna, looked exactly like Ryan's mother did in the pictures. Same kind of girl, that kind of like level of beauty. And she never really got into it, but that's what she said. And that's what she said the priest said when they came to the house years before. And she was like, yeah, it's like we've been dealing with this for years. You know what I mean? And sometimes it like, flares up, and sometimes it's like weird. And then I remembered all the time that I went down in their basement with the lights off, and I would just feel cold. And I would go there after school sometimes and like pull the shades down, but it would be like this eerie, like golden light. And I just never felt like comfortable in that house.
It's a strange feeling.
Without anybody else. Me and him could hang out there all the time. They had this dog that would never act right. Like, and now I know why the fuck the dog wasn't acting right. And to that day, that is like the reason. That's the instance that made me know that shit like that is kind of real.
Oh, definitely. I had an experience not as extravagant as yours, but along the same lines of how it ended. My good friends Todd and George, their family has always been like, connected to like, spirits. And I think, I don't want to say that their dad was like a a witch or whatever, but I know that
A
they're
warlock.
A warlock. They're like versed in, you know, spirituality. And I'm hanging out at Todd's. And again, I was high as shit, but I don't think that that's why I saw what I saw. So Todd's bedroom is back to back with the bathroom. And when you go to the bathroom, the door opens. The doorknob is on the left, so the door swings to the right. But when the door hits the wall, it's a straight wall all the way down. And the toilet and bathtub and everything is to the left. So you walk in the door and you go to the left. So all in one motion, I pushed the door open and flipped the light on. But in that matter of 2 seconds, as I pushed the door open, I saw clear as day a dude in a like a 3-piece like tuxedo. Like, it was like, you know that scene in Signs where they're filming down the alley and the fucking alien like goes by real quick, like staring in their direction because literally just like that. The dude just walks across, staring me dead in the fucking face, and I'll never forget like staring in his eyes. So my first reaction, like it was all like in a matter of 2 seconds. So I jumped, but I was like, "Oh, my bad," because I thought I had just walked in on somebody in the bathroom.
You thought it was real.
So I literally out loud I was like, "Oh, my bad," and then it occurred to me that A, the light was off, and B, this person just walked out of a wall towards the toilet. So like I had this whole 5-second like, oh hey, and I just like didn't know what to say. Didn't have to use the bathroom. I just turned around, I walked back into Todd's room and I sit down on the couch and I don't say anything and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, yo. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I just fucking I don't even know. And he goes, you saw the dude, didn't you? And I fucking sit up and I look at him and I'm like, what the fuck are you? He's like, the dude in the suit. And I was like, dude, you're fucking with me right now? No, like, you know, how could he be fucking with me? Because I didn't say anything. And he's like, dude, I fucking see the dude all the time. He's like, I'll be sitting here in my room watching TV about to nod off. And I'll think that I fell asleep and my brother came into my room because I can see the guy sitting on the other end of the couch. So he'll open his eyes and look over and no one's there. Mm-hmm. And I was just like fucking had my mind blown. And I was like, again, I like never felt right. Like, because I thought I had walked in on somebody on the bathroom and then I go into his room and I'm like, I know that he wouldn't have judged me or thought that I was making it up. But I thought I was going to have to explain to him what I saw, and I didn't even need to because he was just like, you saw the dude, didn't you? And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, how do you sit here and deal with that? Like, what the fuck?
Dude, they say Massachusetts and Connecticut are the probably the most haunted place in the whole world.
We're like the oldest part of the country.
Yeah.
Like New England in general. We have a shit ton of like, you know, I think a lot of it's
old
like
houses.
You know, they say that like every abandoned fucking building is haunted or whatever. But
if anybody died in there.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in like energies and, you know, they can't figure out what it is that sparks that makes a person live. So obviously there's some type of energy that we don't understand. So
totally,
I'd like to think that, you know, energies exist, whether or not it's an actual person or like the ghost, so to speak, is conscious of what it is. It could just be a stagnant energy that's still in that location, you know? Mm-hmm. And when crazy things happen, like you said, that energy might not ever go away. So.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, I believe that shit. I also believe that people play off that shit, but like,
definitely.
I was firsthand to that shit that day, and that's what made me be like, okay, that made me start questioning.
Even people that
things.
you trust, when they tell you a story, it's like you believe it and you don't believe it at the same time. It's like, I believe you because I trust you. You just told me that story. I believe that you saw that.
And you had one that was similar.
But I wasn't there.
Yeah,
so
true.
I'm not going to go around and tell people your story like verbatim. Like, oh, ghosts aren't real? Well, my friend Ben. But, you know.
Oh, fuck, man. Yo, dude, remember when you came up here and you said you didn't know if you'd have anything to talk about?
Yeah.
Dude, we're an hour and 47 minutes in.
Oh, word. And I didn't even give you your snack yet.
What do you got for a snack,
got some
bro?
Fucking
I don't want to turn you down because I'm like kind of
some
dieting.
tasty vegan cupcakes from Edge of the Woods.
Oh, you motherfucker. I guess I'll extend my
One of them, I think there's what?
I'm not going to eat them right now, but I'll probably bring one inside.
I'm eating one. You're not taking them all.
All right, fine.
That one's apple pie. That one's vegan.
Hold on.
And it's fucking phenomenal,
all right,
dude.
Fine.
Like you wouldn't even think that.
I
one-
just did-
You know,
I-
people say you wouldn't even know this was vegan.
I actually did. Dude, they make shit kind of better when it's vegan.
Because
I
you
act-
have to.
I actually did a really strenuous fucking kettlebell workout right before you came, so
You know my
I don't
initial
feel bad.
plan? I wanted to get a laugh out of you. I was gonna say, hey, I brought you some snacks. I brought something that won't affect your dietary restrictions, and I was just gonna bring you a bottle of water.
Water, Poland Spring. What? So that's apple pie.
That's apple pie.
That's
Carrot cake.
Okay.
With like cream cheese filling.
Uh-huh.
That's strawberry raspberry, and that's like a Rocky Road type.
which
thing.
one do you have?
I don't know. I've had them all before. I like them all. The only one that's not vegan is that one's got like a cream cheese filling.
This?
Yeah,
I'll do that one.
I fucking love cream cheese, dude. I'm gonna eat the apple pie because
Thank you. We haven't eaten on the podcast.
that's
for
why I
some
did
time.
it. You guys haven't eaten in a
Yo,
while.
I'll tell you one thing, dude. I'm a huge fan of Edge of the Woods. I love that place.
It's great.
It's a good
I live like a block
health
away
food-
from it.
Yeah, I remember we walked there from your house.
Oh yeah, we did.
Like I love like a good put together health food store like that.
You know, I fucking love. I don't eat fancy food like you. I like fucking something that I can.
You went to Roya.
Yeah,
How'd you like that?
it was good. Me and Paige liked it. The experience alone was. It's funny because they had a lady shadowing. So my first fucking peasant mentality was the two ladies come out. She goes, oh, and she's talking. She walks away, and I look at Paige. I go, "There's two waitresses." I'm like, why do we have two waitresses?
We're important. Yeah, no, that place is really cool because you hit me up and you asked me where I eat, and that was the last cool place I've eaten in New Haven, and it's cool because it's like in an old bank.
It's
So the-
awesome. There's stone everywhere.
The ceilings are like super fucking high. Like there's like
marble walls, like
those doors you see that go into the kitchen were like vault doors at one
Yeah.
time. That shit's cool. I love when somebody does that. I've eaten in a restaurant before that was an old
Like a
jail.
repurposed building.
Yeah, it was a jail.
Oh, is that that's in Connecticut, right?
It burned down though. It was
The restaurant
flour.
It's made out of cement. How did it burn down?
No, it was like an actual like house. It was like old, and it was called Flour and Water. Yeah, right in Middletown. Why am I get
That was
flour?
like 2 years ago, right? I
Yeah.
remember seeing the pictures.
I get flour and water and
Olives and oil.
no, the one in San Francisco. Flour and Water is in San Francisco. This was called Flour and something else. God damn it. See, man, my word finding is fucking shot.
Yeah, it was cool, but it's funny because like, you know, they're doing the whole rundown about their salumi plate and and we have a Chardonnay and blah blah blah. And she's like fucking 85 words a second, and I have to sit there and go, oh yeah,
Like, you know what
that
she's
sounds
talking about?
good. Yeah, and I have no idea what she's talking about.
No, I really like that place. I'd like to go back. I forgot. I went there with my friend Mike. Me, Megan, his girl, and him all came. They actually surprised me for my birthday, and we went there. I was really happy, and it was really funny because I just really like when this happens. And the waitress came out, and like after like we ordered, she came out and she goes, "Are you Ben?" And like I was like, "Yeah," and she was like, "Oh, I read your reviews and shit." I was like, when that shit happens, it makes me feel good because I'm like, "Oh, I am reaching,
got one.
I am reaching somebody." She brought like a couple things out, and I was like, "You guys fucking rule," and it was good. You know what I mean? Like the food was legit. So I was fucking psyched. I'm always fucking psyched when people do that. And then it makes me remember them. I like remember the waitress's name. Like I normally wouldn't do that, but the girl was like talking to us the whole time. It was fun.
They brought us this little thing. They're like, oh, this is from the chef, and it was this little, was it like fennel or something? It almost looks like a celery.
Yep.
It was like a little like piece of fennel in like some olive oil and seasonings, and it was like a little one shot like
In a spoon
it
or
was
something?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was cool because I don't go to places like that, and I know they probably bring it out to everyone. Maybe they brought it out because we said it was our first time there, but it's
They
still,
do stuff like that. When you tell them it's your first time, they'll
it's
usually
still cool
do shit
to
like that.
feel like like fucking these people gave you a little fucking special little thing.
That would make you go back, though.
Yeah, no,
That's
I'll
why
definitely
yeah.
go back, and I'll know what to expect this time too because I bought this chicken dish, and I don't know why I assumed it was gonna be chicken with pasta because you order like they say that I don't know. I just Italian food. I'm gonna get this marinated chicken. I figured it was gonna be like chicken with a big thing of pasta, and they literally just brought me out just a little piece of chicken on a plate.
It was a little pricey, but I was like, they gave it to me, and I kind of chuckled. Oh, this is like 6 bites.
But you were glad you didn't have to down a huge fucking plate of pasta.
It was cool. Got out of there for like under $100, like with tip and everything. So it was cool.
That's
it
awesome.
was Paige's birthday. She enjoyed it.
It's not expensive at all, and it's good food. It's like well done food.
It was like the softest chicken like I've ever eaten in my entire life. Like
I forget the chef there. I forget who it was, but yeah, they're doing good shit. Roya in what is that? Chapel Street. It's right across from the College Street Music Hall, right?
Directly across the street from
And
me.
Owl Bar, right?
You wouldn't even notice it. There's like a movie. Is it a movie theater next to it?
Yeah,
Like
and then
I've
the
literally
parking
walked
garage
by
on the
that
other
building
side.
so many times, and I've never even looked twice. The way that the windows are set up, you can't really see inside. So you wouldn't even know it's there.
They're a little high, but when you're walking by, you can see like the chandeliers and all that shit. So you
and
know
when you go
something
in,
cool's
it's
in
super
there.
open, like floor
Yeah.
plan. Like it's just amazing.
And they have like you can go upstairs and eat upstairs and like look down.
They were having like a wedding. I wished we were upstairs. They sat us at the booth directly across from the bar.
That's where I ate, right there. Yeah.
There was a wedding going on upstairs, so we couldn't go up there, but it was very
awesome.
fucking cool.
Well, man, thank you for my cupcake. Thank you for enlightening me. And you remember when you said you didn't have shit to talk about, bro? And you didn't know if you
said that I wasn't an expert on anything.
You are an
A
expert
man of many
conversationalist.
hobbies, master of none.
You want to say hi to anybody, or like you got any events coming up? Do you want to let anybody
I do not
know
have
about?
any events. Don't follow me on Instagram. Don't call me. Don't text me. No, I don't. I might have a show at Toads in December, but it's still in the works. I haven't played a show since last May.
And if you do, I'll know about it, and I'll put it in my little commercial.
Definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr.
Thanks, man.
You got it, bro.
Stop trying to bite it. You ain't as fly as my sight is. The natural gas could take the track and ignite it. A dastardly dasher that's smoking hash with a cabbie. I'm into lapping my facts and I'm quick to learn like I'm Chappie. The superhuman, never losing. Shoot for moons and passing through them. Loop the track and run it back and get to cruising. Feet up, I'm kicking back. I fill the Dutchie with the sack. I double puff and give it back and drop the acid. Now we're moving past the stars into a planet you could never reach. My futuristic fantasies abandon all my memories. Staring at the sky, you know the dark is where the heavens be. I travel light years to find a hole without the ketamine. Cause long trips are something I could never be without. But now I take the ship instead of sniff, cause that's the easy route.
We wish Earth people no harm. You have been warned. Farewell.
I cruise the strip, ray gun on my hip, a giant loop head sticker on the front of my ship. You know I'm out here, and I don't mean a bar on the strip. I mean I smoke a couple Dutches out on Mars and I dip funky drinks with the locals in the slums of Saturn. Make your ego fatter like you chug some matter. Got Nuka-Colas and gravity out on hoverboards. Never touch another door, 3-second teleports. With my mutants I'm oozing lucrative content. Slipping through your troop in the loop of infinite nonsense. Hopping comets with the masters of astronomy. Hanging out with Spock, talking hours of philosophy. When Mars attacks, damn right I'll be a part of it. Whole crowd screaming, act on that Martian shit. There's no defeating ETs who hit the reefer, break it up and burn it down like a gremlin in a theater.